Cause if you don't constantly bitch about the president, you're a white supremacist. Meaning the frog, well off to the gulag. Listen to Chatelet, my what will the judge say? Our dynasty can't understand irony. I'll define the Klan and all who call me dumb or Nazis, all by proxy. So what if I become all the things I claim to not be? Bunch of Nazi. Love Trump's hating you guys, so let's go pepper spray some woman's eyes. I'm so freaking shameless, nameless in the crowd where I'll be punching Nazis. Protesting gays in a violent way, calling fascism bad, while we're swinging our bats at the heads of those whose opinions we oppose. Nazis a word, and its meaning is blurred, with its use justified where it does not apply, but that's fine with me. I'm liberal apparently. I'll be demonizing everyone who's white, and I'll be calling you all Nazis. So what if I become all the things I claim to not be? Punch a Nazi. Love Trump's hating you guys, so let's go commit several violent crimes. I'm so freaking shameless, nameless in the crowd where I'll be punching Nazis.
Swing it, fit, bang the club, knock 'em to the floor. Ring it like brown shirt, 1934. Curb stop, pull out a gun. I may be Hitler, but I'm still not Trump.
Everyone who doesn't think the way I do is obviously just a Nazi. We'll be screeching loudly, preaching understanding while we punch some Nazis. We'll never admit that we were just a bunch of hypocrites. I'm so freaking shameless, nameless in the crowd where I'll be acting like a Nazi.
Oh, yeah, it's the RiffRaff Random Rant Show with your host with the most. This guy right here, Ryan Riffs. Man, I didn't do a show yesterday, and I tell you why, because it was my grandmother's birthday. We had a good old goddamn birthday without you. We didn't need you to be there. Didn't want you to be there. Anyways, we got a great show. I did my goddamn due diligence. I got this goddamn research ready for you bros. And always the number one drink I drink all the time is Rockstar. I do not get paid by Rockstar or solicitate Rockstar. Draw your own conclusions. Are we good? That's the sound of awesomeness right there. So, like I say, we got a great show planned out for you bros. Alright, today we're going to talk about what happened over the weekend. If y'all wasn't unawares to the awareness of what was going on, allow your brother to break it down for you. Okay, there was a terrorist attack in Russia on a train. Now, there's some info that's a little convoluted. It could be kind of a duplicitous plan, meaning there could be multiple angles being worked here. We don't know. But that doesn't help out the fact that a lot of people got hurt in the process. Not a lot, only like 11. But that's 11 too many. You feel me? All right, so check it out. First, we're going to start off with last week, because if you didn't know, last week there was a terrorist attack as well in London. This week there's a terrorist attack in Russia. So we're just going to go ahead and dive into that for you, if you don't mind. Let's just go ahead and just dive right in. Swan dive right in, if you don't mind. Now, let's see. Hold on. Check this one out, bros. You might like this here. Alright.
An Islamic terrorist mowed down numerous victims in a car before stabbing a police officer and trying to attack the Parliament in London. And how did the left respond? By expressing their concerns, not for the victims, but for how it might make Muslims look bad.
In moments, Donald Trump will begin exploiting the attack in London today. Do not allow this to be an indictment on Islam or Muslims. Far-right figures like Tommy Robinson are vile opportunists, using victims of today's attack to spread their anti-Muslim message.
That's right, some members of the media were more upset that Tommy Robinson had showed up to the scene of the attack than the attack itself. But at least London Mayor Sadiq Khan was quick to respond. Oh no, that's right, it took him more than 5 hours to appear on camera.
Trump's ignorant view of Islam could make both our countries less safe. It risks alienating mainstream Muslims. London has proved him wrong.
Yeah, that tweet hasn't aged well, has it? But at least none of them was stupid enough to blame Donald Trump, right?
Trump probably has a hand in this.
Yeah, okay, but it's important to remember that hashtag not all Muslims are terrorists and that Muslims don't support this. Here's a screenshot from France 24 Arabic's live video feed. Note the smiley faces and the thumbs up. They're saying, quote, God curse the infidels, and quote, that's how the lone wolves of Allah operate. Here's a screenshot from Al Jazeera Live. I'm watching Al Jazeera Live. You wouldn't believe the number of likes. Well done and Allah Akbar. Here's a moderate Muslim perspective.
I'm seeing rumblings that what's going on in London is an attack from radical Islam. If so, there was likely good reason for it.
But hashtag not all Muslims, right?
These cowardly bastards can maim, murder and terrorise all they like, but they'll never win.
If by winning you mean changing society, then they are winning, with the full complicity of the left. Canada is currently debating a motion that will effectively criminalise Islamophobia. In other words, criticism of Islam. Just 3 years after their own parliament was also attacked by an Islamic terrorist. They are winning, and our governments are helping this ideology to spread. They're welcoming it in. We're erecting glass walls around the frigging Eiffel Tower. Sweden just allowed 150 ISIS terrorists back into their country. Oh, but don't worry, because they set up a phone hotline for people to report them, and then closed it down because it might be racist. Now we have the Islamist Erdogan threatening to send Muslim migrants with the vow that Europeans won't be able to walk safely on the streets. France just polled young Muslims and found that a third of them, expressed sympathy for terrorism. Here are a few questions that spring to mind. Why are Brits being arrested for tweets while Islamists are free to walk around Parliament draped in the ISIS flag? Why do we have a mayor who calls moderate Muslims Uncle Toms? A mayor who says terrorist attacks are part and parcel of living in a major city. And I'm sick to the back teeth of saying it. But I'll say it again. Pray for hashtags won't prevent this. Turning off the lights at the Eiffel Tower won't prevent this. Putting a filter on your Facebook profile pic won't prevent this. Sticking your head in the sand and pointing the finger at right-wingers will not prevent this. And whether this terrorist turns out to be homegrown or a migrant or whatever, the belief system is the same, acknowledging that Islam is not a religion of peace and is in serious need of imminent reform, will prevent this. So don't intimidate and attack the Muslim reformists who are trying to make that happen, not rolling out a red carpet into our country to be exploited by terrorists as they've done over and over again. Will prevent this. How many more mangled bodies on our streets will it take before that happens?
Showing a cell phone on a live stream won't prevent this. But hey, I don't give a shit, man. I'm just trying to red pill some motherfuckers around here. He said, how many more mangled bodies will it take? Well, I think we know just how many more, because now we have this week's terrorist attack to talk about. So we're gonna talk about it, if you don't mind. And matter of fact, I actually found a real good video on it. If you check this out here. A moment. Oh, let's see. I get it. It's not a whole lot of coverage on it. That's what's going on, though. That's what's going on. Not a whole lot of coverage on it. But this shit just happened, man, in Russia. All right, check this out.
All right, we are following breaking news right now. We have reports of an explosion at a metro train in St. Petersburg, Russia. There are definitely injuries. CNN's Matthew Chance live in Moscow with breaking details. Matthew, what do we know?
Well, not very much at this stage, Chris, but it's been confirmed by the Russian state news agency TASS that there has indeed been an explosion, at least one explosion, in St. Petersburg in a metro station there. Social media is filled with, you know, what you might expect, horrific images of the aftermath of that explosion. It seems like the doors have been blown off a metro train at what we believe to be what's reported to be the Sinaya Square metro station, which, for those of you who don't know, which is most people I expect, is in the middle of St. Petersburg. So it's right in the center of that big Russian city. There are casualties on the platform. Emergency services are there, according to Russian state media, and that's the only source we've got on this at the moment, apart from the social media postings. People are being evacuated from the subway station. We don't know yet whether it's affecting one station or two stations. There seems to be some concern that it could have been either taking place between two metro stations or
I can't even make that out. It's all fuzzy.
But obviously, we're going to try and get some clarity in the hours ahead, Chris.
All right, Matthew, we know it's very early here. We're looking at some cell phone video from there. They still haven't even put out information about whether or not this came from the actual train or it was just in the station. The early pictures are tough. There's certainly injuries. We will check back with you, Matthew. Let us know when you have information. St. Petersburg, second largest city there, known as the cultural.
So there you go. Another terrorist attack happens. Just to let you bros know, I got my comment list set up. So if you guys want to comment me on some love or on some hate shit, it's all good. Go ahead, do what you got to do. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Click that little tiny bell so anytime I go live and do one of these rants, you'll get it on your social media page. Now, the bombings. Well, who did it? Who did that shit? Who did that? Oh, I wonder. We happen to know who did it. I figured it out. Well, let's say I didn't figure it out, but I did my due diligence to help you figure it out, to help us kind of figure it out. I'm going to shut the hell up. Just check this out. Check this out, my friend. Let's see. Whoop. Let me see. Celebrate. Hold on a second. 1 second. Okay.
Killed.
1 second.
Now
Hold
11 pro-ISIS group draws up kill list. Petersburg time. They're in the hometown of Vladimir Putin. He was back visiting there for an international conference, and a big blast went off. They found another bomb that appeared to be homemade. At least 11 dead. 11 people were killed in a blast on the St. Petersburg metro on Monday, the Russian health ministry said, in what authorities described as a terrorist attack. ISIS is now taking responsibility. Of course, an explosion through a train.
What? ISIS? Can't be. It just can't be. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. Do you believe it? Martin, do you believe it? Gorsnich, do you believe it? I don't believe it. I just can't believe it. Alex, tell me more. Please tell me more.
As it was traveling between two stations in the Russian second biggest city, injuring dozens more. A second device was found defused in another station, Russian Anti-Terrorism Committee said. And of course, now ISIS is taking responsibility for that. But here's the big issue. You can pull these articles up. The Saudi ambassador, the Saudi government, Saudi princes, all in the last 3 years, but a lot, particularly in 2016, threatened Russia that if they didn't leave Syria to the Islamicist Wahhabist forces funded out of Saudi Arabia, that they would have terror attacks launched inside of Russia. So you can just Google Saudi threaten Russia with terror attacks if they don't back out of Syria, and you can see that for yourself.
Stop it, Alex. I refuse to believe it. I just can't handle this. You mean to tell me that they threatened them, they knew it was going to happen, it happened already, they're celebrating it on Al Jazeera, and nothing's being done? That seems odd, doesn't it? Doesn't that seem a little odd? It seems odd to me. Well, let's dig more into this. What do you think?
Another report. ISIS celebrates St. Petersburg metro blast that killed now 11. A pro-ISIS group draws up kill list of targets, including names, addresses, and emails of some people in the UK, as well as in the United States. That's out of the
You don't live in the UK, do you?
We've got our normal Islamicist news of the day, graphic photos from Breitbart. Islamic State throws Iraqi man accused of homosexuality from rooftop. Just accused of it. Killed. German police accused of covering up what they knew about a Christmas market.
Anyways.
First trying to say it wasn't.
He's going off into the news there, but there you go. You hear it. You got ISIS on Al Jazeera. They got a lot of likes on their page. A lot of faces saying this is what the infidels get. This is what the infidels get. I'm proud to be an infidel. Infidel? Infidel. You proud to be deplorable? Proud to be an infidel? I'm proud to be an infidel. But let me tell you a little bit more. Let's dive into some of the tech, So that happened over the week. Last week there was a terrorist attack, and yesterday there was 2 days ago. This is April 4th. There was a terrorist attack, and on a train, 11 people died. Unfortunately, that's ridiculous. Then I just showed you that ISIS was celebrating it. At least that's what we know. So, I mean, we don't really know too much more than that. As the story breaks down, I might be able to throw a little bit more in another episode, but that's all I got for you on that. So let's go ahead and shift gears to what Facebook has been up to and what some of these tech companies have been up to and what they plan on doing with your data and your browser history. I know you've been looking at them naughty websites. And they're going to be selling them to third-party providers. Oh, yes. That freaky stuff you be looking up, they're going to find out. Oh, yes. Trust me. They got you. Check this out. Check this out. Hold on. They're not going to give it to me. It's hard to find this kind of stuff, my friends. Hard to find this kind of stuff. Let me see here. Let's see if I can get it here. Oh, it's really not going to give it to me here. Hold on, it might be in my search history here. Check it out. See if I can't find this for you bros here. I've been looking up videos friggin' all day, so it's deep in my history. I mean, they could have taken it down, too. That's the other thing. They could have taken that shit down. Oh, here we go. Found it. Check it out.
We have Facebook now has decided that they're going to kowtow to the Pakistani government. They're going to block what is considered to be blasphemous content. Here's what Sharia law looks like, folks. 85% of anti-Muslim posts have already been removed. And they say that this is just the first Islamic country that's going to make the demand. They're working, Pakistan is, with 27 other Muslim countries to make similar demands.
The guy that is in that picture right there, his name is 17 Apologetic, and he actually studies the Quran, and that's what I get a lot of my info from him. He's incredibly smart. He knows what he's talking about as far as what Sharia law is and what the Quran is. And, you know, they're basically what's going on is that Facebook is partnering up with Iraqi government in order to basically create an algorithm that's going to catch anybody blaspheming Muhammad. And under Sharia law, if you blaspheming, is that a word? The Muhammad, then you know that's direct violation of law, and then they come to your house and fuck you up. That's what's going on. So think about that. Think about if that was happening here in America. There would be blood in the streets. Oh my goodness, okay. That would never happen here. I'm the Donald. We're going to keep it tight and we're going to build a wall. But what happens when these private companies like YouTube, for example, like Facebook, start to develop these types of algorithms, right? Develop these types of partnerships with these types of foreign countries and foreign, aids and things like that. And then what's going to happen? Well, now we're seeing it. Over 85% of the blasphemous, comments have been taken down. And then on top of that, they're working directly with law officials to search out the people who are posting this kind of stuff. I understand that that country doesn't have, freedom of speech and the First Amendment like we do, but goddamn, man, I look at them like human beings. I look at them like anything else. Anything living has a chance to survive, a chance to live, a chance to thrive, a chance to pursue happiness, whatever that means for that creature, for that person, for that human. I don't give a shit what the hell your goddamn color is, where you come from, what demographic you're from, what kind of background you got, what kind of political ideas you got. I don't give a shit. You deserve the right to make it right. You know what I'm saying? So, now that we understand that Facebook is going to give in to Sharia law, let's go ahead and work out the details of this, because I don't want to just shove a bunch of crap in your face without some goddamn facts. You know what I'm saying, bros? Hey, play this shit.
And they have arrested and they're prosecuting people for posting this blasphemous content that Facebook is being a snitch to. As one of the individuals talking about it, David Wood of AnsweringIslam.org says he thinks the next step by Facebook management will be turn over the identities of those who are charged with blasphemy offenses in Pakistan. So they're going to rat people out, and they're going to censor it for Sharia law. And what do they do to people
That's right.
that have blasphemous content? It's a death penalty. I mean, we're talking
That's what they do.
As it gets here, folks. And so here you have the Democrats who say, I can never support the death penalty under any circumstances. And I agree with them. In principle, I support the death penalty. They do it because they don't want to oppose Sharia law, where people in Pakistan are going to get the death penalty because they're ratted out by Facebook. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Going back to what we were talking about in terms of Sharia law and the Democrats pushing back against it in Montana, there have been a number of states where they have expressly said we're not going to be put under a foreign system of law. We've worked hard to establish this system of law. It is not anything that we need to apologize for. As a matter of fact, it's far better than any other system. It's not perfect. No system of law, no constitution is perfect, but we need to get back to our constitution, not continue to turn to foreign law. And as we're talking about with Facebook, they're blocking blasphemous content in Pakistan. This is what Sharia law looks like, folks. Censorship, death penalty for people who don't push their religion. We do not want that here in America. They've actually got a team. Sounds kind of like what the Democrats want to do with the FCC, doesn't it? They got 25 members who are working to search out content that they don't like. In this case, blasphemous content. And Facebook is going to work with them to shut this down and possibly to rat these people out. And remember, this is something that carries a death penalty in Pakistan. They said they're going to work. Now, this is the first Islamic country to get Facebook to play along, but they're working with 27 other Muslim countries they're making similar demands. So I guess we can call it now Sharia book. Meanwhile, we got Erdogan talking about how Turks in Europe should defy the grandchildren of Nazism. You see, when you want dictatorial powers, the way you get them is to call other people Nazis, call other people Hitler. The amazing thing about this, the irony of this, is that Erdogan was sending foreign ministers into all these European countries, and that's what created the friction, because they said, look, we don't want to have you campaigning, we don't want massive groups of people meeting here that are going to get worked up and start fighting with each other over politics within Turkey. But they have so many Turks that are now in Western Europe that they really needed to do this in order to win their election. And what was the point of the election that's coming up? Well, the point of the election was to give Erdogan dictatorial. So he goes there to campaign for dictatorial powers. When he gets the campaign rallies that say, we don't want this, we don't want your people campaigning here, then he calls them Nazis. Calls them Nazis. Let me remind you that it was the Turks 100 years ago, 1915 to 1916, that did the Armenian genocide that the Turks to this day want to pretend didn't happen. Lemkin coined the term genocide for what had happened there, what the Turks did to the Armenian Christians in that area, trying to wipe them out to a person. Oh, we haven't seen that anywhere else, have we? You see it everywhere. You see this culture, this religion, this government, all three tied together. Everywhere they go, they want to eliminate everyone else. And he has the audacity, when he's campaigning for dictatorial powers, to talk about Nazi-like tactics in the Netherlands and Germany and other places. What people need to understand is that he's sent massive numbers of people that he calls his brothers and sisters voting in Europe. He wants them to answer this fascist oppression that doesn't let him campaign for dictatorial powers in the country. Are those people voting in European elections? Probably are as well.
There you go, man. I mean, what do you say? What do you say about that? You know, I don't mean to smile because it's fucked up, but what are you supposed to do about it? You know what I mean? I mean, we already went over there and forced our democracy on them. We got rid of, what's his face there, Saddam Hussein, and then look at the chaos. Look at the migrant crisis. Look at everything that's going on over there. You know, I mean, maybe, just maybe, we should have, you know, fucking minded our own business this time. I guess that's what I want to say. Maybe we should have fucking minded our own business this time, huh? Look at the mess that's going on over there. Man, Europe is crumbling. You got Russia attacks now, and you got London attacks last week. My goodness. All right, so let's just stay on topic. We're on topic with the Facebook here and what this tech is going to do and what it means for your data. So let's go ahead and get into that, all right? So they're going to create, well, it's already created. You'll see. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but we'll get into it.
With companies like PepsiCo, Walmart, and Starbucks, his convictions was known to police and traveled to Saudi Arabia often. You know, the country that's the #1 exporter of Wahhabism, extremism, and kills gays and persecutes women. Oh yeah, the US and UK are working with them to bomb Yemen. Anyway, in other tech news, the U.S. Senate had an important vote in order to allow ISPs to sell your internet history and end your online privacy rules, which of course the good corporatocracy that they represent and are voted yes on, which means now on December 4, 2017, ISPs will be able to sell your web browsing history and app usage history to advertisers. With that happening, WikiLeaks released Project Dark Matter, where it released the CIA tools that infiltrated MacBooks and iPhones and showed how the CIA hacked these Apple.
So Project Dark Matter, and by December of this year, they're going to sell your web browsing history and other factors to third-party providers. What does this mean? Why do you give a shit about that? Why? I'll tell you why. Because although you may be a law-abiding citizen, although you may have nothing to hide, but that really has nothing to do with it. what it does is it creates an algorithm by the things that you click on, by the things that get recommended in your recommended list, that bases an algorithm on the things that you like. Now, every once in a while, they're going to throw a curveball in there to try to change your perspective. You see what I'm saying? Because if they can create if they can control the popularity, then they can control what you consume. If they control what you consume, then they control the popularity. If they control the popularity, then they can control how you think. You see what I'm trying to say? So this is a little bit deeper than just, get it? Deep web? So, deep web. That's where we left off. Let's talk about that.
Devices in a way that users could not fix. Now, even though WikiLeaks said that they would share their vulnerabilities with Apple, Apple was dissing WikiLeaks for some reason and are saying that they do not negotiate with WikiLeaks because they have supposedly fixed these CIA loopholes, which in my personal opinion is malarkey. Oh yeah, also this week, billionaire, banker, globalist kingpin David Rockefeller passed away at the age of 101, leaving the mainstream media, George W. Bush, Bill and Hillary Clinton paying tribute to their late friend. And as they all mourned, the internet celebrated, bringing up the fact that he was the founder of many secret societies, how he openly called for population control, pulled the strings between many powerful government institutions, and I could go on and on, leaving me to make a statement saying, well, we should stick to the facts here, but at the same time, we shouldn't really be celebrating and dancing on someone's grave. It's just a little distasteful. Also, Dave Chappelle
Yes, a little distasteful. I don't know if you know who David Rockefeller is, but if you ever talk about, Illuminati and the NWO and crap, you're inevitably going to come up with his name. And, a lot of people were really, really happy that he died. And I saw a lot of shit on Facebook and a lot of shit on, social media, man, just going off on this guy. I'm so glad he's dead and this crap. But like he said, it's a little distasteful, One could even argue that it was guys, billionaires like David Rockefeller, that was actually stopping World War III. One could even argue that. Let's get into this.
Came out with a new Netflix special this week where he discussed JFK's assassination, the Tuskegee experiments, forced vaccinations, how AIDS and Ebola were weapons in order to eliminate unwanted populations, and a lot more red pills were given out through that Netflix special, showing you how much controversial truths you could actually bring up when you're not beholden to a corporate conglomerate advertising agency like a television show, which we have to give some respect to Dave Chappelle and Netflix for taking this risk, allowing the viewers to decide what they want to watch and what is popular, instead of being dictated to us by the controllers of media. And yeah, it's a mass hit, even though some people are getting butthurt about it. Which brings me to the last topic today. YouTube, which has been desperately trying to be like Netflix, has started their purge against independent media and the truth. Major advertisers have pulled ads from YouTube.
You heard that. YouTube has begun their purge on independent media and the truth. My channel is brand spanking new, and the only reason why I'm bringing this channel up, because I typically would never do this. I'm a landscaper by trade. I sell energy part-time. I'm an independent ambit energy consultant. I'm a regional consultant for my area, and a part-time YouTube content creator. That's it. That's all I do. All right. So I typically would not get on here and throw these red pills out if I didn't deem it necessary, because a lot of people are getting silenced. Michael Savage getting silenced. All these people getting silenced. All right. Isn't that the definition of fascism? Book burning, silencing, censoring. Every time you censor something, you only make it bigger, more powerful. Take my boy Milo Yiannopoulos up here. I never knew who he was ever in my life until Twitter tried to ban him. As soon as Twitter banned him, well, guess what? He was the biggest thing that I ever seen. You know what I mean? But you see what I'm saying? It's the Sex Pistols all over again. It's Nirvana all over again. It's Weird Al Yankovic all over again. Every time you try to censor something, like the Sex Pistols, you only give it strength. You only give it power. So why am I on here creating this target for myself? Why am I trying to red pill my PlayStation friends? Well, because if John Hancock and the people that signed that document failed, you know what would have happened? They would have hung. They would have hung together. Either we hang together or we hang alone, right? Either you stand for something or you fall for nothing, bro. Either you're going to troll and be lonely or you're going to come on the info board, because there is a war for your mind. whether you believe it or not. I used to think Alex Jones was a psychopath, you know? Like, Alex Jones. Oh, yeah, there's a warp of your perspective. But then you start thinking about it. You start researching. You start diving into hacker groups like Anonymous, 4chan. You start listening to people like Paul Joseph Watson, Steven Crowder, Miley Annapolis, Sean Spicer, Goresnitch, Trey Gowdy. And it's like that moment in V for Vendetta. I mean, you remember that moment when he's like, everything feels connected. He's like, if you really knew that the government was behind everything, would you really want to know? Would you really want to know? Are you ready to know? That's the question you got to ask yourself. Personally, I would take the red pill every single time, brother. Every time. I would rather be knowledgeable. I would rather know I'm getting fucked, right? They say ignorance is bliss, but I disagree. I disagree. To know that you're doomed is beautiful. That's what makes everything beautiful. To know that it's all going to end someday. And it's all over someday, right? So that's what makes your food taste better. That's what makes the day sunnier. Is waking up in the morning and just knowing that you get another shot. So here's my shot. Just to be able to tell you guys a little something here and there, be able to do my due diligence, come on here and compile a bunch of different videos in order to form a point. And the point is we stand together or we stand for nothing, right? Let's get into this.
A widening boycott with companies like PepsiCo, Walmart, and Starbucks who are saying that they don't want their advertisements showed with radical content. Now, they're not talking about the ISIS videos that are put on YouTube. They're talking about people who are, quote, racist, Islamophobic, controversial. Which leads me to the question, when did advertisers have any ethics at all? Oh yeah, never. Because what this really is a push by the corporatocracy in order to eliminate a true and honest discussion online by pushing YouTube to screw over people who tell you the truth and threaten the establishment. And that's exactly what's happening with this channel that you're watching right now being heavily hit ever since this announcement, with us getting screwed in the algorithm. Our likes to view ratio are totally off. Countless numbers of videos have been demonetized even though they're not controversial, and making people like me lose 3/4 of my income, which I did last week because of this new YouTube purge. And it's not just me being hit, it's also a lot of other independent journalists and reporters out there who are taking the greatest risk that they could, putting everything on the line, and deciding that they're going to be beholden to what's actually happening in this world, reporting honestly for viewers, since their content is monetized and, if popular, allows them to live free and independently of any control. And now the major advertisers over YouTube are saying, well, not anymore. And I'm getting screwed. Heavily. So in this new world of censorship and PC culture, it's
so what he's trying to say is any controversial content like what I'm talking about, for example, you know, these people try to monetize their videos and use the ad revenue that that YouTube provides, because YouTube, when it first started out, was simply just an advertising company, and then allowed content creators to come on in order to put their advertisements on. That's how it basically all started back in the day. So as time went on, as they started changing the revenue deals, changing how people get paid on YouTube, you know, now we've pretty much come to where we are today, you know, where pretty much everything, what up, Jason? So pretty much, you know, now we have this YouTube phenomenon where they're taking anything down that's controversial. I just did a video about PewDiePie, how PewDiePie, they're trying to say he's a white supremacist, and the Wall Street Journal creates a sensational article saying that, you know, PewDiePie, for example, is a white supremacist. Then they set it up so you have to subscribe to their website in order to even read the article, right? So what does that mean? So they're trying to defame somebody with 54 million subscribers in order for revenue. That's retarded. And that's also a quick way to red pill 54 million people at once, because then now PewDiePie is putting on videos of how he was being defamed. And then this is where we're at, okay? Now YouTube is trying to silence anybody that's controversial, like myself, for example, that brings up controversial topics, talks about things out loud, shares opinions that make sense. So they're going to shut down videos like this, channels like that. So I wanted to tell you that is the YouTube channel called We Are Change, and if you want to support YouTube channels like that, then I would definitely go on there. But these guys are being kicked off YouTube, and then they can't make content anymore because the ad companies dub them racist, controversial, whatever. So now that means that they can't create videos unless they get Patreon. So now they're forced to make these, please donate to my Patreon videos. It's just pathetic. It's pathetic in this culture war that we're absolutely destroying in. And I've already done videos about how we're absolutely decimating in the culture war. But that doesn't really matter. What matters is that these people, like YouTube, Facebook, are going to create algorithms in order to silence you, silence anybody that wants to talk truth, be controversial. And what I mean by controversial is guys like PewDiePie, who just do comedy. He paid a website $5 in order to hold up a sign that says "Kill all Jews." Just funny, just a funny gag. Did he go a little too far? Yeah, maybe. Was it not that funny? Okay, yeah, maybe. But a white supremacist? Yeah, you don't know, man. The guy plays video games. He's got 53 million subscribers, okay? It's clear that the Wall Street Journal that should be, doing news on friggin' Wall Street. I guess business is slow, huh, bros? Business is slow. So then they have to create sensational articles, defame a guy like PewDiePie, right? And then make people subscribe to read the damn story, right? In order to just get revenue. That's it. That's ridiculous. Now let's get more into this.
Support independent media, because ultimately, with the way things are going, with what just started last week, there's no way I could continue my operation like I used to before. So if you can, go to patreon.com/wearechange and support us. And if you can't, I totally understand. And share this video. Get it out there. Also, let me know what you think in the comment section below of these weekly wrap-up videos every Sunday for you. If you liked it, if you think it sucked,
anyways,
if you think my nose is too big.
We Are Change. I would definitely recommend you go to him and anybody else that's, in the info war. Me personally, if I get shut down, if I get flagged, I don't care. I'm a landscaper by trade. I work a lot. So if, I get shut down, whatever. I don't even monetize my videos, so it doesn't even matter to me. All right. So moving on from there. First of all, let's get into a little parody because I think I've been hitting you a little too hard. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. Let me lighten it up. I'm gonna light it up for you here just a little bit. We've been hitting it too hard. I've been slandering everything today. Jesus Christ. I'm not even that far in this stream, and I think I've been cutting them already. All right, let's lighten it up. All right. We're gonna lighten this one up here. How about a little place bowling, huh? He always makes me laugh. You guys like making fun of Alex Jones? Here's a little Alex Jones. Here we go.
I don't want to see him kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins, in bed with a goblin. I don't want to see him kissing goblins, succubus with goblins, ingratiating goblins, in bed with a goblin. I don't want to see him kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins, in bed with a goblin. I don't want to see him kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins, in bed with a goblin. Dump it. Charging into a goblin's nest, some goblin vomit and slop and blood on it, especially up to his ankles. Trump charging into a goblin's nest, some goblin vomit and slop. Goblin vomit and slop. I'm not expecting him to not get dirty slop. Kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins, succubus with goblins, in bed with a goblin. Kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins. I just want to catch him in bed with a goblin, in bed with a goblin, in bed with a goblin, in bed with a goblin. I just want to catch him in bed with a goblin, bed with a goblin.
Oh, man. All right, so I'm done ripping on YouTube and Facebook. I just think that's messed up, you know what I mean? And it's only a matter of time. Matt Drudge said it best. We got to get away from these internet ghettos. Guys like me, guys like, you, if you want to spread truth, you want to talk about information, not even truth. If you just want to do PewDiePie stuff, which is just a little bit of controversial mixed with some comedy, you know, even he's getting shut down. So, I mean, eventually we're going to have to break away from these internet ghettos and start creating our own internet platforms. I mean, I'm virtue signaling right now. Look at his face, virtue signaling to you. Because I don't know how to do it. And I'll just be the ignorant man in the room right now, just let you know the truth. I don't know how to do it. But if you do, create your own website, create your own YouTube, create your own InfoWar, and call it a day, right? Because we're going to have to do that. We got to break away from the conglomerate internet plutocracy, right? With some big words right there. Okay, let's go ahead and shift gears. Let's start making fun of the news, all right? Because the news, they're fun to make fun of. Okay, so what we have here is a little bit of action going on with CNN. You like CNN? I sure don't either. Crank News Network, Counterfeit News Network. All right, let's get into this, huh? Yes, let's make fun of the news. I love it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's see what we got here. Uh-oh. Oh, no. All right. The old cell phone is dying on me here. I should have charged it before I started streaming like a dum-dum. All right, so let's get into this, all right? See if I can find it here. Here we go. Check it out.
I want to show you guys a few hilarious examples of just how the fake news media has a reckless disregard for the facts and for fact checking.
What up, Corey?
They are
What up,
so
Corey?
reckless that this one man, Captain Jakes, a 50-year-old truck driver from Philadelphia, has been able to get live on the air on most major media outlets countless times for the last 25 years, posing as different people, from mayors of different cities to eyewitnesses at supposed live breaking events to even celebrity spokespeople. He's been doing this not just for fun, but to also demonstrate that most major mainstream news networks in this country aren't news. They are, in fact, just simply entertainment and wouldn't even know a fact if it stood 2 feet from their face. Just a heads up, there's going to be some foul language in this video because Captain Jenks is a big fan of the Howard Stern show and has been featured on the show many times for these calls.
Please tell us what you saw there on the ground in Ukraine.
Well, I was looking out the window and I saw a projectile flying through the sky, and it would appear that the plane was shot down by a blast of wind from Howard Stern's ass.
So it would appear that the plane was shot down. Can you tell us anything more from your military training of what sort of missile system that may have been coming from?
Well, you're a dumbass, aren't you?
I'm sorry, sir. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with all the latest next.
The producer cut off the phone.
Right now we have on the phone with us the mayor of San Diego, Dick Murphy. Mr. Mayor, thanks for coming back with us. We had a little bit of trouble with your line, but we're able to listen to your news conference, and now I understand you have even more news to tell us about the development in San Diego.
Yes, we have 3 people in custody right now in connection with the fires. We don't know for sure. We don't want to give their names out or anything like that. But the fires were started by a blast of wind from Howard Stern's asshole.
All right. Well, you know, that's the second time that's happened to me here on the air, and it just always amazes me that during this time when people are fighting for their homes and fighting for their lives, that somebody associated with Howard Stern chooses to try to get on the air. And
No, it's actually pathetic to see that your network put somebody on the air when they were claiming to be the mayor of a major city, and you didn't even bother to double check.
Joe Pettit, do you have good news for us out of New York City?
Yes, they're saying that slowly but surely all the power should be coming back on very, very soon.
Do you have a time?
Like within the next 2-3 hours, everything should be back on in New York City, and it'll take a little bit longer for further north there, but within the next 2 or 3 hours.
Well, I don't mean to doubt you, but yesterday we heard all of the power would be restored by 1 a.m. Eastern time. It wasn't. So how sure are you that the power will be back on in a couple hours?
Would you bang Howard Stern?
Pardon?
Would you bang Howard Stern?
Oh, my goodness. You know, that's not even funny. It's disgusting. And I don't know why people call television stations like that, because it just makes you sound stupid.
No, it actually makes your network sound stupid, because you're putting people live on the air when you haven't even taken 10 seconds to verify their identity.
Can you tell me what it is that you have learned now?
Yes, we have taken into custody 57-year-old Jeffrey Humphrey. As to what involvement he has in this, we don't want to release that yet, but he is being questioned by Fresno police.
Can you tell us at least why you took him into custody? Was there some information that led you to believe there was obviously more than one person involved, because you already have Marcus Weston in custody as well?
That's correct. Well, we saw Mr. Humphrey screaming, "Fuck the FCC."
Okay, well, certainly didn't expect that, of course. Any indication whatsoever as to what that would have had to do with it?
Howard Stern in our First Amendment.
It's a crank call. All right.
Oh, you finally figured it out. You finally got it. It's a prank call. No kidding. Just a word of caution if you're going to attempt to do this. He very well may have committed a felony there by impersonating a police chief. So if you're going to try something like this, don't impersonate a police officer or any government official, or you could very well end up getting arrested.
Detailing his alleged connections to the Ramsey family. Wendy Hutchins is joining us on the phone right now. Wendy, thanks very much for doing this. Tell our viewers how you got involved with John Mark Carr.
Well, he was a relative of mine's friend, and I saw him at a few functions, family functions, and we started speaking after that, and I won his confidence, and we became good friends after that.
All right, so then what happened after that? When did the email, when did the talk with Ramsey begin?
It started in around September of 2001, when he told me that he knew more about the John Benet Ramsey case than what anybody else had known, and that he was instructed to kill John Benet by Howard Stern.
Right, well, that sounds like we've just been Howard Stern, as they say, so we'll have to leave that alone, Wendy. Not Wendy Hutchins, but clearly a crank phone call. Thanks.
A crank phone call to a crank news network. Oh, that's a new name. We should call them CNN the Crank News Network. Thank you for that idea, Wolf. You just gave us the new name. We're going to call your network. Well, I'm sure you get the point by now. These people are an absolute joke. And
They are.
Thank you for demonstrating that, Captain Jenks. There is a link.
That was Mark Dice. I urge you to go subscribe to Mark Dice. Amazing. Yeah. I mean, exactly. It makes their network stupid when they don't fact check, when they don't actually solidify what the fuck they're doing on their fucking network. Then yeah, it makes you look stupid. He trolled you. Okay, and that's old footage, you know, that's old school trolling. Remember the Jerky Boys back in the day? Hey, I'm fucking Frank Rizzo, remember that shit? Well, that's basically what we just saw. Old school trolling, man. Old school. All right, so I love this whole making fun of the media shit. Let's watch some reporters getting a little bit of what they deserve. Let's watch that, yeah? Let's get some reporters getting what they deserve. Getting it. Get it. Yes, you're gonna like this. This is funny.
And meeting somebody that.
With all of these
There's my boy Sean Spicer up there. My boy.
Of what is, how does this administration try to revamp its image? 2.5 months in, you've got this Yates story today. You've got other things going on. You've got Russia. You've got wiretapping. You've got.
No, we don't have that. You. I know.
On Capitol Hill.
No, I get it, but you keep. I've said it from the day that I got here until whatever, that there is no connection. You've got Russia. If the president puts Russian salad dressing on his salad tonight, somehow that's a Russian connection. But every single person, that's I appreciate your agenda here, but the reality is, hold on. No, at some point, report the facts. The facts are that every single person who has been briefed on this subject has come away with the same conclusion. Republican, Democrat, so I'm sorry that disgusts you. You're shaking your head. I appreciate it, but understand this, that at some point, the facts are what they are. And every single person who has been briefed on the situation with respect to the situation with Russia, Republican, Democrat, Obama appointee, career, have all come to the same conclusion. At some point, April, you're going to have to take no for an answer with respect to whether or not there was collusion.
How do you change the perception
We're going to keep doing everything we're doing to make sure that what the president told the American people he was going to do, to fulfill those pledges and promises that he made, to bring back jobs, to grow the economy, to keep our nation safe. That's what he's been focused on since day one. We're going to keep focusing on that every single day.
Comes Friday. Condi Rice did not support this president. She did not go to the convention. She comes. What is on the agenda, and how is their relationship? Has it healed since 2016?
I gotta stop, man. It just makes me go back to Immortal Technique. Condoleezza Rice is just a new age Sally Hemings. Remember that shit? Oh man, Immortal Technique is my bro. We might even have to play that jam right after this. Yes. I'm sniffing that.
A very negative word to describe.
Here's what I'll tell you. It's interesting that you ask those two questions back to back. On the one hand, you're saying, what are we doing to improve our image? And then here he is once again meeting somebody that hasn't been a big supporter of his. Hold on. But April, hold on. It seems like you're hell-bent on trying to make sure that whatever image you want to tell about this White House stays, because at the end of the day, let me answer. Okay, but you know what? You're asking me a question, and I'm going to answer it, which is the president. I'm sorry. Please stop shaking your head again. At some point, the reality is that this president continues to reach out to individuals who've supported him, who didn't support him.
Stop shaking your head.
To try to
oh my God, it's too funny.
On an agenda that's going to help every American. That's it, plain and simple. So if you're asking what we're doing, I think we continue to do it, which is to bring groups together that have been supportive of them, that haven't been supportive of them, but to share a goal, which is finding common ground on areas of national security, of personal security, of economic security, of job creation, of safer communities, of education, of healthcare, that can unite us as a country and make the country stronger.
Thank you. I mean, can Spicer say it any better than that? I mean, we need to start finding some common ground here, people. We can't let Shia LaBeouf and people like that, divide us and crap like that. Yeah, I mean, love or hate Trump, whatever. Love or hate me, it really doesn't matter, but we still got to find common ground that we can still go to work with on every day. We can still get our gas every day. We can still get our groceries every day without having to live in fear of, wearing something that you love, that defines your religion, or wearing something that you love that defines your political belief. You shouldn't have to live in persecution. You shouldn't have to fear, especially in America. This is a fucking country built by immigrants, right? Who assimilated, right? That's a crazy word, I know. They assimilated. And then what happened after that? They got documentation, right? And then what happened after that? They became American citizens. So this is my proposal to try to unify us a little bit, is that we stop calling each other Puerto Ricans. We stop calling each other African Americans. We stop calling each other all these labels, right? Muslims, all these labels, white guys. Because we're all Americans, I thought. We all live under the same flag. We all try to follow the same rules. You got your private property, I got mine. If you want to practice Buddhism on your private property, then go the fuck ahead. I don't give a fuck. As long as you're going to pay your taxes and stay the fuck off my property, I don't give a shit. Right? So, I think we can go to the next hit piece on CNN. What do you think, bros? What do you think? Okay. Let's get it. You might like this. Oh, what am I doing? It might help if I actually play the fucking video, huh? Dumbass. Jesus Christ.
When it comes to harassment, is there something that you won't do? I mean, we saw harassment.
This is Milo Yiannopoulos right here. This is who this guy is. Milo.
Transgenders.
It's Milo.
On screen. The student left school.
Actually, the student had already decided to leave. They told us or some no name for. They'd already decided to leave, actually. So that's a mistake. But why? I'm perfectly comfortable. Well, I see myself as a second-wave feminist. I'm perfectly comfortable standing by that decision. I don't believe that men, whatever their gender identity, should be in women's bathrooms. I don't think that men should be in stalls next to 6-year-old girls, and I don't care who has things to say.
All right, so he just said he's a second-wave feminist. He's also a guy. He's gay. He's a conservative. He writes articles for a magazine called Breitbart. And what did he just say? He said, I don't believe men should be sharing bathrooms with other women, right? That's what he said, right? Now, Target might disagree with that because Target has gender equality bathrooms. Doesn't that sound so lovely? Just rolls off the tongue. Gender equality bathrooms. Oh, it's so progressive.
About that, I consider that to be a mission of protecting women, sticking up for women. And if you can stand,
by humiliating an individual, putting their picture up.
This is a professional gender activist who had filed a lawsuit against their university, already decided to leave because they didn't get the result they want. This wasn't just some poor person suffering. This was a professional activist who had filed a lawsuit against their university. Yes, they're absolutely having thrust themselves into the public sphere in that way, having decided themselves to put themselves out there and to turn themselves into a public spectacle and to be a public spokesperson. Yes, absolutely, I'm entitled to express an opinion on this.
We spoke with the college Republicans yesterday. They were so excited to have you come. So excited. And they were excited. It's a good show. We saw them. They looked deflated.
Well, of course they're deflated. They wanted the show to happen just like I did.
And now what's going to happen to them on campus? Are they going to get stronger? Or
my experience has been that they. I mean, I've never had a show cancelled like this, like on the night.
All right, well, you probably can't really tell what he's talking about there, but he said that the students looked deflated because of what happened at Berkeley. Berkeley College got shut down. This speaker, Milo Yiannopoulos, he was supposed to show up there and do a speech, right? And talk to the students there. He has a little show. He gets paid to do it. He's a paid spokesperson, speaker. A group called Antifa that you might not have never heard of in your life, maybe you have, but a group called Antifa showed up. Could have been students, might not have been students. We don't know because they're so nameless and shameless, faceless in the crowd, and it's hard to depict, who the real progenitor of evil is here. You see what I'm trying to say? Is it a grassroots movement? Do they really, really stand for what they believe in? I don't think so. And I actually have a lot of proof that supports that opinion, to be honest with you. And I also have Google Images that kind of supports that opinion. So what is he talking about? They're talking about feeling deflated because they're not allowed to share their opinions, right? And their thoughts. Isn't that the definition of fascism? Isn't it? Someone trying to silence somebody's views, somebody's political opinions, somebody's thoughts. Isn't that being a thought criminal? Isn't that being thought police? Aren't you trying to police somebody's thoughts when you show up and silence them from speaking and shut down their show using fire and destruction? And then calling them fascists. Wouldn't that be the very definition of being a fascist? And I got a little bit more proof on that. But let's get back to what Milo was talking about.
It's happened. I've always insisted that the show goes on. There's only one other instance, which was in a university.
What up, Big Jump?
And I just had no option but to cancel for the sake of the students' sake. I would have carried on. I'm going to get blown up. It's going to happen.
You say that the violence tonight was prompted by the left. But I mean, what we saw on both sides. From what we saw, what we filmed.
Okay, I can tell you from the footage that we have, it's very clear who the instigators are. Now, if you go out and you yell at senators in someone's face, you call...
He just said it. By the footage that we have, it's very clear to see who the instigators are. Very clear. And that's very true. Yes. Yes. If I walk up to you and throw a water balloon full of piss at you, I would hope you beat my ass. I would hope so. Oh, yeah. But, I mean, when you push somebody to the point into defense mode where they have to defend themselves, and then you report that as news as they were trying to attack, that's just That's just purely false. That's purely false. So when they try to, say, it was, I saw it coming from both sides. Yeah, of course you did. When you show up in masks with baseball bats and clubs, yeah, you're going to see it from the other side. Absolutely, and I hope you would. I hope you would. If I approached you with a mask and a blunt object in my hand, I would hope you'd have a problem with that. Absolutely.
A hateful bigot, you throw dog feces at them, you might get punched, right? Yeah, sure. Maybe it did go two ways by the end of it. Wouldn't you retaliate if somebody was doing those things to you? I would, even me, even Faggy Milo, would probably throw a punch, right? But it is very, very, very clear who the instigators were, who were responsible for all of that. I tried the best to turn the other cheek, but none of us is perfect. And you cannot expect people who have obscenities hurled at them, feces and urine thrown on them, not to throw a punch back. Of course they will.
What do you want me to ask the students? Because tomorrow we're going to talk to some students.
Exactly. Feces and urine. If I throw a piece of shit at you, man, are you going to throw a punch at me? I hope so. I hope so. I hope you want to drop my ass after throwing. Can you imagine? Somebody throwing poop. I got videos. I'm not going to show them. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I got a video of a girl taking a poop, right, in her hand and wiping it all over a Trump sign, right? And the other people in the crowd didn't seem to mind, like that wasn't out of place. I'm sorry. Call me crazy, but that seems a little out of place. Let's get into this.
Who say that they are so scared, they're so frightened, they were so insulted, their world was turned upside down by what happened tonight, by what people said to them, by what they've seen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my world was turned upside down. Oh, poor me. I gotta wake up in the morning and figure out how to be a professional fucking victim every single day. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Go dye your hair fucking 20 more colors and virtue signal about how you hate everything and hate everyone. It's ridiculous. Nobody cares anymore. And I got video to prove it. Nobody cares anymore. Watch what I'm showing you here. Watch what I'm about to show you here.
Their student body, by what they've seen happen on their campus, that they're afraid. I mean, what of what? Is that what you asked?
What are you afraid of? What is going to happen just because somebody believes something different to you? What is going to happen?
I mean, they say that they're
Martin Luther King knows what happens. Martin Luther King knows what happens.
It doesn't happen. Look at the Trump rallies. I mean, you guys reported on those dishonestly too, but look at the Trump rallies. The violence wasn't coming from Trump supporters. My events. The violence isn't coming from my supporters. It's very clear, and everybody knows it. Who throws their toys out the stroller, throws the first punch, throws the first hammer, breaks the first window. It is perfectly, abundantly, crystal clear where this stuff comes from and where it starts.
So what do you make of
And if these people are worried about violence, they need to look in the mirror and they need to turn their eyes to their own friends and to the people on their own side. Because it is not my fans and it is not Trump voters who are the problem. It is not Republicans and Libertarians who are out there on the streets spoiling for a fight. All they want is to be left alone. All they want is to be allowed to live their lives as they please and not to have their lives interfered with by nannying, pearl-clutching, school-momish social justice warriors. They just want to be left alone.
You were getting hugs and smiles.
All right, I mean, come on, dude. I mean, are we fucking stupid? I think we can see the signs. Al-Qaeda turned to ISIS. Black Lives Matter turned to Antifa. It's the same shit. It's the same funding. It's the same money. It's the same problems. It's the same unproductive bullshit that we've seen all the way back to 1934 with the brown shirts, all the way to the KKK, all the way to this bullshit that we're seeing now. It's unproductive hate groups that don't care. They virtue signal all day. They come up with arguments that really have no end game. No end game. They're elongated arguments in order to no end. So that way, the sweet funding will keep coming in. Oh, that sweet, sweet funding. Ooh, can you taste it? Can you taste it now?
What do people, I mean, you really are God to some of these people.
Of course, because I'm the first journalist they've ever heard of that doesn't lie to them and lie about them. You know? The crisis in trust in the media didn't come out of nowhere. Nobody did this to you. You know, Trump didn't do it to you. You did it to yourselves. Because you reported selectively, you withheld information, you lied to and about people, you asked leading questions, all of the creepy, slimy strategies designed to push a particular political agenda, and people got sick of it.
People got sick of it. You heard that? People got sick of it. And let me tell you, man, all the way from 12 to about 16 years old, you've created, not you personally, the viewer, but the regressive left, has created something called the Generation Z. Look it up. Look up what the Generation Z is. Up to you. I don't really give a shit. The point is that the regressive left has misbehaved so badly. They've cried wolf so many times. They've played that. Now what you get is the Generation Z, the most conservative group to ever come out of the demographic. And the reason why that is because you're targeting young kids that have no idea what racism is. They've never played identity politics. They don't know what the hell you're talking about. So when you ban their Halloween costume, their cowboy costume because it's racist, or you ban brown paper fucking bags, are you serious? This is a real story. And when you ban shit like that, they don't understand. And then you force them into a conservative, or you force them into a right-leaning situation. Okay? If you want Democrats, my grandfather is a Democrat. My grandfather would be spinning in his fucking grave if he knew the Democrats sided with Wahhabists and communist China in order to destroy Western civilization. Okay? Oh yeah. My grandfather would be freaking out. Freaking out. What do I do about it, though? What can you do about it? We can share these red pills, share these opinions, but what do? I'm just a guy showing some videos in a particular order to try to create an argument, or to maybe share an opinion or two that might spark something inside of you. And the reason I'm doing that is because they're trying to silence everybody. I've already told you. And if we stand for nothing, then we fall for nothing. We got to stand for something. John Hancock signed that bill for a reason. And if he would have failed, then everybody on that bill would have hung together. All right? So it's time to hang together, my friends.
And it was amazing to me in that Trump press conference when he said what he said about CNN, and the whole room erupted, cheering. Everyone cheered when he called out CNN as fake news. That was so shocking and remarkable.
So is this in your opinion, is this the beginning of real news then?
No, I think it is the long overdue beginning of the end of the American media industry as we know it. I think the press in America deserves to burn, and I don't know what's going to come afterwards. I don't know what's going to rise from the ashes. But the major broadcast networks and major newspapers in this country are not performing their essential function. There has been a systemic failure. All I need to do to beat all of you single-handed is just be more fun and be more funny, and I am.
KO! Did you hear that? That's all we gotta do. We gotta win this culture war, man. All we gotta do to do that is just be funnier. Mwah. Satire is the king. It is the supreme. And my friends, as long as you're funny, as long as you present your facts in a particular sort of way, and you're quirky about it, then it's going to come off all right, man. It's going to come off cool. You talk to the people, you just be as honest as you can, relevant to the information that you can get your hands on. I'm just a guy. Putting things together, asking questions. Just a human, same as you. Just asking questions. That's all I got. So, he said that a lot of the hate and animosity was coming from the left side. You might disagree with that. Maybe you got a lot of videos that will support your claims. But I actually have a video of two young gentlemen that were actually Hillary supporters, and they pranked New Yorkers. They dressed up as Trump supporters as like a social experiment to see what would happen. And unfortunately, they got slapped in the face with reality. You see what I'm trying to say? I don't think you're hearing me. These men, two young men I'm about to show you, were Hillary supporters, right? Dressed up as Trump supporters as a social experiment and got hit in the face with reality. You ready for this? I don't think you're ready for this. I just don't think you're ready for this. I don't think you're ready. Check it out. You gotta type it in just right. It's hard to get this kind of stuff. Here we go.
Come and get it.
Oh, what is this?
That's not good.
This is that new Fast and the Furious joint.
Take the wheel.
Yeah, that's that new Fast and the Furious joint right there. I have
You
to
get
watch
style
that.
points for that one.
Rated PG-13.
Yeah.
Hey guys, this is Kassar, and I'm Habib, and you're watching Dual HK.
Since Donald Trump became the president, there have been many protests throughout New York City.
That's why we pretended to be a Donald Trump voter to see how New Yorkers react. Please watch the full video till the very end before you judge us. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Oh yeah, I just want to know what's going on over here, you know? Huh?
I want to know what's going on when I see two immigrants wearing for Trump when I have a very hard time.
Excuse me, can you take me to Fifth Avenue real quick?
Trump? No.
Please, brother, it's right there. I'll give you a shot.
Not Trump. Not Trump. He's saying that with the Trump hat. Disrespected, that's all. You know? Thousands of people were here yesterday protesting. Some people were ready to kill people over that shit, so you gotta
Hear that? Hear that? You couldn't see it, but he just showed up. All he wanted was a bus ride. He wouldn't do it because of the Trump hat. Are we really? Is that where we are? Is that where we are? Martin Luther King, man. I'm going to get to that. I think you already know where this argument's going. Let me show you a little more. I happen to know somebody else that all they had to do was walk down the street to get prosecuted or persecuted. Sorry, wrong word. I know another man. Oh, what was his name? All he had to do was walk down the street, man. People would spit at him. What was his name? Anyways, I think I'll think of it soon.
In America, at the end of the day, we should respect each other's views.
I feel bad for you.
And at the end of the day,
because he lied to you.
But
he lied to you.
Look, a lot of people. What if people thought that?
In the same instance, I feel really pissed at you.
Why are you getting so aggressive? Like, what if you should? I respect.
People like you are ignorant, and you're driving me crazy.
Donald Trump hat.
He's a Trump supporter.
I respect you. No, I'm not doing anything. I'm just asking for a service.
Yeah, that's completely fine. Yeah. But he's saying that he don't want to do it. Exactly. And that should be fine. Yeah.
It's fine. I respect that. I respect that.
Thank you.
All right, but why are you talking to me like that? Look, like, why are you angry?
Because I can be. It's my feelings, and you have to respect that, right?
I do respect it, but like you should.
Bye.
Motherfucker, you do it with people who don't care, but we do care. We do care. We do care.
As you can see, while being a Trump voter, we were harassed and discriminated.
Oh, whoa. They're not Trump supporters. Remember that. This is a social experiment. They're just going around posing as one. And they're getting all this hate, all this hate. Man, I'm trying to think of somebody else that was like that. That all they had to do was walk around and they would get a bunch of hate. I'm sure I'll think of it here in a minute.
What? No. Trump? What's this? What happened? Why you got a Trump hat on, bro? You some Trump supporter? Yeah, man. What happened? Hey, man, we support Trump. What I do to you, bro? Come on. Come on, man. We is no Trump supporters. My fault, I didn't do nothing.
I respect that.
Nigga. Trump and you too, bro.
But I didn't. I'm respecting your choice. You should respect me.
Trump, nigga.
But I'm respecting your choice.
I feel about what I do to you guys, man. Does that make me a bad?
See, they're not even having fun anymore. Like, they don't even want to make this video no more, dog. See what I'm trying to say? Is that where we're at? Really? I think I remember another man that was like that. I don't know. I can't think of it, though.
Person, just because I, like...
I'm gonna take that shit off for you.
What's gonna happen if I wear it?
Tell that camera suck my...
Bro.
Okay, I get it. A lot of you don't like Donald Trump. Even I have so many issues with his policies. But that doesn't mean I go and take my anger out on a Trump voter.
Heard that? I don't know if you could hear that, but dude's pretending like he's having like a real bad asthma attack. Fucking guy walks by, he's like, nah, don't help him, let him die. Is this where we're at? Huh? Is this where we are at? Let him die. Reminds you, he's not white. He's fucking, I think Muslim or something. I don't even know what he is. He definitely ain't white. People are like, just because he's a Trump supporter, let him die. Fuck him.
Let's just say that a Trump voter hates you, but that shouldn't be the reason for you to hate them back. Think about it. When you hate someone back, that hate will only increase for you. But if you love them back, that hate might melt into love. You know what's sad? It's sad that today in America, we are judging people for what they believe in, not for who they are. We're Americans. We believe in equality. We treat people equally. Why can't we just love them for who they are, not for their beliefs and all this religion, political beliefs, and all that?
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea. Did you hear that? Why can't we just love, man? With political beliefs, it's not like we're in the goddamn chess game. We can share opinions. We can share videos. We can share, our thought process on the whole thing, right? We can vote. We can vote with our dollars. We can choose where our money goes. We can support companies or not support companies. That's our choice. That's about as far as it goes. Especially if you're in the minimum wage category. Especially if you don't make more than $50,000 a year. You see what I'm saying? We all in the same boat. The sooner we realize that, the sooner we can start floating in the water, man. See what I'm trying to say? The water is the persecution. The water is all the identity politics. We're the boat. We got to float on top of that shit. Or sink. Feel me? Let's get into this.
I think I'm good.
Hard to breathe?
Finally, somebody went to help him out. Finally.
Sure, bro?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, bro. Really appreciate that.
You positive?
I'm positive.
You don't want me to call nobody, bro. Don't pass out and I leave it and you see on the news. Alright? You alright?
I'm good.
Just take a moment and think about it. Many of us think Trump is a racist, a sexist, and many other things. But when one discriminates all Trump voters, how different does it make them? By assuming all Trump voters are racist, it's like saying all Muslims are terrorists.
I'm a law-abiding Muslim. And he's putting that shit so crystally to you, bros. See what I'm saying? Shouldn't matter at the end of the day. You see what I'm saying? How different does it make us when we act the same way when we don't like it? Just assuming that a Trump supporter is racist is really unproductive. Really unproductive. And it reminds me of a particular situation that I just can't put my finger on. But it reminds me of something, though. Maybe I'll remember it here in a minute.
Yeah.
And the
I live in Virginia, and I know a family who moved from Kabul to Charlottesville, Virginia, where I live. I love them. Like, they're an incredible family. I voted for Obama a couple years ago. I gave him a chance.
See people on social media defriending their friends because of who they voted for. Yeah, it's insane. I know. And the fact that whatever you believe in as far as who you voted for, this is our president and this is our country. So if you are when people are burning and ripping the American flag. Let's spread positivity and love each other for who we are.
That's right.
I started something
That's right, man.
Was because when I heard Hillary's speech, the last word she said, was being a Christian and being humble and being American. As American people, we have to all work together.
Right.
So she humbly endorsed him. I'm humbly going to endorse him. And Mama Hillary endorsed him. That's why I'm doing it. That's what made me really realize that I can't be angry and hate in my heart, because what's it going to take me? Nowhere. And I'm even I'm with you. So nope. I said nope.
Like other people.
Yeah, that's why I said something Trump had.
Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let us know how you guys feel Trump being elected as president.
We'll have videos up every Saturday and Sunday. So go ahead, smash the like button. And
How do you feel about it?
We love you guys.
I mean, regardless of how you feel about it, it shouldn't make you misbehave. This is what's going on. Kids like this, who weren't exactly on the fence, right? Maybe clearly they don't like Trump. They said they don't like Trump. right? But when the left misbehaves so badly, when they go out and wear them hats and then get treated so badly by their American people, what are they left to do? You're forcing people to the right. You're forcing people to be conservative. You see what I'm trying to say? When guys like Shia LaBeouf go and virtue signal, he will not divide us, and then guys like 4chan rip it down, satire is a powerful thing. Comedy is a powerful thing. You gotta be funny. If you're not funny, no one's gonna give a shit, right? No one's gonna care. There's a reason why Jessica Rabbit and Roger Rabbit love each other, right? And Jessica Rabbit wasn't dating him because of his looks. We all know that. It's because he was funny, right? Because he was funny. Oh my God. I just remembered what this reminds me of. This whole Trump hate shit of just being able to walk down the street and then you get hate on. It reminds me of Bloody Sunday. Do you remember Bloody Sunday? Perhaps you're not old enough. I know I'm not old enough, but I like to go back in time. Being a Donald Trump supporter reminds me of Bloody Sunday. Allow me to show you what I mean. Allow me to show you what I mean. $45 seconds. Check it out.
Voting rights campaign.
Here we go.
If we're wrong, why don't you arrest us? Why don't you get out?
The Reverend C.T. Vivian, an organizer for the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, led the Selma campaign.
Judge, we're willing to be beaten for democracy, and you misuse democracy in the street. You beat people bloody in order that they will not have the privilege to vote. You beat me in the side and then hide your blows. Well, go on. No, I don't need to leave. We have come to register to vote. And you must realize that this is a national issue. It's not a Selma issue. It's not an Alabama issue. This is a national issue. Whenever anyone does not have the right to vote, then every man is hurt. No, I don't need to leave. We have come to
On the night of February 18th, state troopers savagely attacked Vivian and other demonstrators. In the chaos, a young man named Jimmy Lee Jackson was shot at point-blank range in what the local newspaper called a nightmare of state police stupidity.
He was murdered by the irresponsibility of every politician from governors on down who has fed his constituents the stale bread of hatred and the spoiled meat of racism.
The tragedy galvanized the Selma voting rights campaign. SCLC's James Bevel proposed a symbolic march from Selma to the Alabama state capitol in Montgomery, more than 50 miles away. On March 7, 1965, SNCC's John Lewis and the SCLC's Hosea Williams led a procession of more than 500 marchers over the Edmund Pettus Bridge. Alabama state troopers, clad in gas masks and riot gear, waited on the other side.
It'll be detrimental to your safety to continue this march, and I'm saying that this is an unlawful assembly. You are ordered to disperse, go home, or go to your church. This march will not continue.
News cameras immortalized a hellish scene of police brutality and chaos. Images of Bloody Sunday shocked the nation. Time magazine reported that rarely in human history has public opinion reacted so spontaneously and with such fury.
That's right. Rarely, you heard that. In human history, has the public responded in such fury. And now we've seen it again. Now we've seen it again, haven't we? Okay? And you starting to see what I'm trying to say? Those two young kids were just walking down the street, getting fucked up. Didn't that look a little bit like Bloody Sunday? Didn't that look a little bit like what Martin Luther King was going through? Now I know it's different. I know maybe you can't see it through your social justice lenses, but it's the same. Oh, yes, it's the same. It's persecution of any type. It's the same. I don't know how to explain it to you. I just showed it to you. See what I'm trying to say? So, people are getting tired of all this shit. You know what I'm saying? People are getting tired. They're tired of all this left talk where they keep going on about trying to get everybody into this America hate, right? Because nobody's into it anymore. We're like 3 months in, 4 months in, almost, to Trump being in office. You know, these kids have never shown any heart to anything for more than a week, most of them. Most of them don't even have a job. Most of them are on EBT. They virtue signal all day about how they fucking want free shit. You know, not that I'm not against Bernie Sanders. I like some of the stuff he says, but he always proposes free shit with no way to pay for it. And then he creates this subclass of people that just, you know, they want the free shit. Yes, I'll give up my security, my privacy for food stamps and welfare. And then they'll go on, they practice this kind of shit. They practice and practice in order to get their facts all up in a line and all that crap, in order to go on to, you know, public places and then try to spread their filth everywhere. You know what I mean? Basically the same thing I'm doing, but I don't know. I guess I'm the opposite, right? I'm the opposite of this guy. But let it be known that a group of New Yorkers that are just trying to go home or that are just trying to go to work are tired of listening to this fucking bullshit. Let me show you what I mean. All right? Let me show you what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Hold on. Check it out. The fuck?
Xenophobes who hate other people from around the world, who have hatred against women, and who are threatening the whole future of humanity and the very environment we live on. There's an important teaching happening tonight on what is fascism and why we need to drive them from power.
I'll take that shit. Keep your shit to yourself.
Where are you from, brother?
Hispanic.
Yeah?
They came here legally.
You know, in Germany, there were things called the Judenrat. These were councils of Jewish people that the Nazis relied on to pick out which Jews that they were going to round up and send to the concentration camps. I want everybody to meet the modern-day Judenrat over here. The
Hispanic
people.
Where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you
from? Right here, brother.
Where?
From the Bronx.
Where?
Puerto Rico.
That's you. So you're legal Hispanic.
Yeah.
You came here.
You hear that? His argument's already dead in the water. Should we even continue on? I mean, his argument's already dead. He's going to disavow the fact that his ancestry are immigrants, mine too, yours too, everyone's, right? He's going to disavow that fact. And then he's going to use the fact that he's from Puerto Rico, okay, in order to try to make that a more concrete piece into his argument that he's about to use against this guy. You see what I'm saying? He's about to smash him. You ready for this?
Legal no matter what.
What's your point?
I came here legally. I waited 10 years to be a citizen.
What's your point?
So you have the pleasure of being a legal Latino.
Pleasure?
You have the pleasure of being a legal Latino.
So he says, I have the pleasure.
It's beautiful
of
to be
being
a citizen of this beautiful country.
I'm from Puerto Rico.
It's a beautiful pleasure
Let's
to be a
talk
country
about
of
why Puerto Ricans are legal in this country. Because the island of Puerto Rico was taken over by the U.S., people were slaughtered who were fighting for independence. The U.S. established military bases on Puerto Rico. They tested weapons on the island of Vieques and
Listen, go
poisoned the land.
beg for money somewhere else. Go beg for money somewhere else. Go beg for money somewhere else.
Kept Puerto Rico as a colony that produced.
Hey, listen,
no,
go,
it's not my stuff. You need to confront reality. Everybody
Get away.
does.
Go beg for your money somewhere else.
Kept Puerto Rico as a colony that produced the coffee for the world.
See that guy?
All right, go ahead.
See that guy? And he's not the only one. I don't know if you can make out all the voices, but there's people in that crowd telling him to shut the fuck up. No one wants to hear it. We're tired of your fascism talk. We're tired of your virtue signal talk. We're tired of your identity politics, your racist, misogynistic, fucking blah, 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 blah. We're tired of it. You're in the fucking subway trying to, what, blue pill everybody, I suppose? I'm throwing red pills. I guess he's trying to blue pill everybody, and they don't want to hear it. These are people just trying to go to fucking work, right? I don't know if you can depict it in the crowd, but that dude, that big motherfucker in the fucking Carhartt, he was like, shut the fuck up. Yes, yes.
Until it was no longer profitable to exploit Puerto Rico, and they used other countries, and then they just pulled the money out and left the Puerto Rican people there to suffer and to be exploited in chemical factories where people were tested on, where women were tested on, and they were sterilized. This is why Puerto Ricans are legal, okay? And this is what it means when they say make America great again, a return to open conquest and domination of people from all around the world. And that is why they instituted their Muslim ban against people from different nations around the world, not because they're protecting anybody.
I gotta stop them right there. They didn't issue a fucking Muslim ban, okay? Let me hit you with the facts, okay? First of all, it was a 90-day moratorium ban, okay? Everybody knows that Trump's fucking administration around him, the media, are on attack mode. Anything that Trump puts out, they're gonna immediately attack it, right? So what does Trump do? He takes the Obama administration, submitted by Congress, in order to identify the 7 countries that were harboring terrorists, okay? Some of these countries Obama fucking bombed. Nobody's protesting about that, okay? And then Trump, all he did was take Obama's name off it and put his name on it. That's all he did, okay? So he threw it out there, and it was not a Muslim ban. That's fucking ridiculous. It was a 90-day travel ban. That's what it was, okay? Of any non-citizen that didn't have a green card. If you had a green card, you were free to come and go. That wasn't the issue. You see what I'm trying to say? But idiots like this are like, it's a Muslim ban, it's a Muslim ban. No, it wasn't. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. Now, to get to the other piece of evidence, the Ninth Circuit shut down the ban. So the ban never even fucking happened. But people still want to talk about it, though. See what I'm trying to say? Because it fits their narrative that Trump is a racist, or it fits their narrative that I'm a racist because I like Trump. See what I'm saying? So they'll push it. And this is what pisses me off as far as what I like to call the regressive left throwing their blue pills like that.
And they'll even admit this. Their own specialists admit that the people being banned have nothing to do with any attack against anybody ever. But it has everything to do with creating a fortress America of white Christian men who have created an other out of people all around the world, and to mobilize people like this fool over here to go along with
this motherfucking snowflake. This piece of shit snowflake. This piece of shit snowflake. All he does is think with motherfucking feelings, no common sense. No motherfucking common sense. No common sense.
Common sense.
Go use your common sense.
And all you got is
keep using your feelings. Go somewhere else, snowflake. Go somewhere else, snowflake. Your bitch lost. Your bitch lost. You're still crying about that shit. Did you vote? Did you vote? Did you vote?
You got anything else?
Did you vote? Did you vote? Did you vote? Did you vote? Did you vote?
You got anything else?
I bet you didn't even vote.
I bet
you didn't even vote.
You got anything else?
You're crying. No. That shit. You should have voted. Make sure you vote. 3 million illegals voted. That could even help your bitch win. Take your shit somewhere else, motherfucker. You got freedom of speech, I got freedom of speech too. I ain't fucking scared of your shit, man. Fuck out of here.
Today, everyone, 7 p.m.
Yeah, go to another fucking protest. Waste your fucking time. Get a fucking job instead.
Get a job.
You're living on fucking welfare, EBT. Fucking, that's what you're doing. You're on EBT right now, right? Get the fuck out of here. We paying taxes. People are going to work right now. People are going to work right now. We're not trying to hear your shit. Get the fuck out of here.
This is what we need to confront.
Get the fuck up. Go protest somewhere else.
They're whipping up an army of fanatical...
I go to all your fucking protests, every fucking Antifa bullshit. I go to your shit every fucking day. You motherfuckers, all you do is protest all fucking day.
Anything that the Fuhrer has told them.
Make America great again. And we're going to do it united as Americans.
He wants to declare a holy war against the East.
No, you're creating a civil war between us right now.
This is what is going on.
You're dividing America.
comes to power and consolidates its hold. It whips up fanatical, unthinking robots, and it gets the good
I
people,
voted for Obama in 2008. I used to be a Democrat. I have common sense. You sound the same like your other Antifa friends. You just stop. Go home.
It's pretty much it right there. Do I need to make my point even further? I don't think so. I think we'll end it there. As you can see, people are getting pissed off. They're tired of it. Okay? They're tired of it. They're tired of the regressive left. They're tired of identity politics. Okay? So, I'm not going to bore you with that anymore. Let's go ahead and let's round this up with a tune here. A tune that I think personally really goes with everything that we've made fun of and talked about here tonight. You ready for that? Oh my god. This fucking song. I haven't heard this shit in a long time, man. Ah, shit. Alright, ready? Ready? Ah, shit. Haven't heard this jam in a long time. Here we go.
New age is upon us, and yet the past refuses to rest in its shallow grave. For those who hide behind the false image of the Son of Man shall stand before God. God.
I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. Nah.
It has begun. The beginning of the end. Yeah. Voice of racism, preaching the gospel is devilish. A fake church called the Prophet Muhammad a terrorist. Forgetting God is not religion, but a spiritual bond. And Jesus is the most quoted prophet in the Quran. They bombed innocent people, trying to murder Saddam. When you gave them those chemical weapons to go to war with Iran. This is the information that they hold back from Peter Jennings. Cause Condoleezza Rice is just a new age Sally Hemings. I break it down with critical language and spiritual anguish. The Judas I hang with. The guilt of betraying Christ, who murdered him, stole his religion, and painted him white. Translated in psychologically tainted philosophy, conservative political right-wing ideology, glued together sloppily the blasphemy of a nation. Got my back to the wall, cause I'm facing assassination. Guantanamo Bay, federal incarceration. How could this be? The land of the free, home of the brave, indigenous Holocaust, and the home of the slaves. Corporate America, dancing offbeat to the rhythm. You really think this country never sponsored terrorism? Human rights violations, we continue the saga. El Salvador and the Contras and Nicaragua. And on top of that, you still want to take me to prison just cause I won't trade humanity for patriotism. It's like MK Ultra controlling your brain, suggestive thinking, causing your perspective to change. They want to rearrange the whole point of view of the ghetto. The fourth branch of the government wants to settle a bandana full of glittering generality, fighting for freedom and fighting terror. But what's reality? Read about the history of the place that we live in and stop letting corporate news tell lies to your children. Flow like the blood of Abraham through the Jews and the Arabs, broken apart like a woman's heart, abused in the marriage, the brink of holy war, bottled up like a miscarriage. And vetted correspondents don't tell the source of the tension, and they refuse to even mention European intervention or the massacres in Jenin. The innocent screams, U.S. manufactured missiles and M16s, weapon contracts and corrupted American dreams, media censorship blocking out the video screens, a continent of oil kingdoms bought for a bargain. Democracy is just a word when the people are starving. The average citizen made to be blind to the reason. A desert full of genocide where the bodies are freezing, and the world doesn't believe that you're fighting for freedom cause you fucked the Middle East and gave birth to a demon. It's open season with the CIA bugging my crib, trapped in a ghetto region like a Palestinian kid where nobody gives a fuck whether you die or you live. I'm trying to give the truth and I know the price is my life, but when I'm gone they'll sing a song about immortal technique, who beheaded the president and the princes and sheiks. You don't give a fuck about us. I can see through your facade like a fallen angel standing in the presence of God. Bitch,
niggas scared of the truth when it looks at you hard. It's like MK Ultra controlling your brain. Suggestive thinking causing your perspective to change. They want to rearrange the whole point of view in the ghetto. The fourth branch of the government want us to settle. A bandana full of glittering generality, fighting for freedom and fighting terror. But what's reality? Martial laws coming soon to the hood to kill yo while you hanging your flag out your project window. Yeah. The fourth branch of the government, aka the media, seems to now have a retirement plan for ex-military officials, as if their opinion was at all unbiased. A machine shouldn't speak for men, so shut the fuck up, you mindless drone. And you know it's serious when these same media outfits are spending millions of dollars on a PR campaign to try to convince you they're fair and balanced, when they're some of the most ignorant and racist people giving that type of mentality a safe haven. We act like we share in the spoils of war that they do. We die in wars. We don't get the contracts to make money off them afterwards. We don't get weapons contracts, nigga. We don't get cheap labor for our companies, nigga. We are cheap labor, nigga. Turn off the news and read, nigga. Read.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Immortal Technique, for crystallizing everything that we were just talking about. Didn't that kind of wrap it all up? I thought it did. You know what? Let's shift gears to a little something that I think is really important. I think it's really important to be able to laugh at each other's weaknesses, laugh at each other's strengths, you know. Because if you laugh at a weakness enough, then it becomes a strength, right? And then we can combine our strengths together and become Voltron. Or, you know, Optimus Prime or something. Something awesome, right? So, that's what I'm thinking about. What do you think, yeah? What do you think about politically correct? I think it's a bunch of bullshit. That's what I think. I think it's important to be unpolitically correct. You can't have a law on funny. You can't have rules on funny. See what I'm saying? Once you start putting rules on what is funny, okay, then nothing is funny. See what I mean? So let's get into it, shall we? Let's get into it. Ba-ba-ba-bum-bum. Man, Mortal Technique, bro. He just brought that shit to a head and popped it like a pimple. God damn. I mean, he really fucking... cold the way he delivers it like that. Fighting for freedom and fighting for terror, but what's reality? Ugh. Shit's crazy. Alright, I'm gonna shut up here. Let me see. Auntie. I'll find it. Here we go. This YouTuber is Organos. Go subscribe to him, please. That's Chink from the Young Turks. That's hilarious.
They do move in herds.
Because I know as a young man, I had a lot more spring in my step. Young guys, your girl gives you shit, you know, you go for a drive. Where's this relationship going? This feels weird. We need to talk. Hey, fuck you, lady. You get in the car and go for a drive. Punch the ceiling a couple times. You scream out the window, bitch! She starts in on you with that whole laundry list of stuff you gotta do because you're married. Susie has ballet practice. It gets over it too. Make sure you're there too. You were there too the other day, and she was very upset. No, you were. You were. I actually documented the record on my Facebook page, and you want to give her an uppercut. You want to give her an uppercut. No, it's a natural thought. It's a natural thought. You never lead with an uppercut. You set it up with a jab. You get inside. You come right up through the cleavage. You rock that head back. You send it right across the linoleum. Take that dirty pistol out. You lay it next to him. Wipe off the door handle. I'm fucking with you. No, you don't do that.
Here on the RiffRaff's Random Rants channel, we do not condone physical attacks on women. I do, however, find it hilarious. Get on that.
No, you don't. You never hit a woman. You should never hit a woman. You're gonna get caught. You're gonna go to jail. You're gonna get raped. It's awful. You don't do that, right?
How much time did you get?
3 to 5.
Where at?
Verlaine.
Verlaine? And that's fucked, Stan. Cars just don't give a damn. Let the cons beat the shit out of one another all day.
How am I gonna do in there? I mean, if you saw me, would you beat the shit out of me?
I'd probably rape you.
You'd rape me?
Looks like everybody's gonna rape you.
There's certain Mexican families out there, when they break down, they prefer to call family members for roadside assistance. Okay, this is where the shit starts. No tow truck, no AAA, no OnStar. You know who they call? Juan Star. That's who they call. They call their cousin Juan. He answers, right, Juan Star, what's the matter? Hey, I got a flat tire. Call the family. Okay. Help is on the way.
No, that was funny, man. I don't know if you could see that shit. Yo, they all snuck out of that goddamn van and the fucking cop didn't see it. Oh, that dumbass cop.
Thanks for calling Juan Star.
Yo, they just shit all over that cop.
Through this shit. You're on the freeway, and then it just stops. But we all do the same thing. We look a quarter mile up ahead on the shoulder. We start assessing the accident. We try to figure out what the hell's going on. For some people, they have no idea it's a Mexican family helping each other out. For some people, it looks like a multi-vehicle accident. I always wonder what the conversation is in the vehicle for these people who have no idea it's a Mexican family.
There is some racial tension on the squad, and I mean, I think it's normal. But I think, unfortunately, it all stems from one guy. From Officer Garcia. And I mean, the poor guy can't help it. He's Mexican.
Right? These guys stop like, oh shit, it's bad, bro. It's a bad one, dude. Frank, it's bad, Frank. Let me tell you. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 6-car accident, bro. Holy shit. What happened? 2 trucks and 4 vans. What the hell happened? It's like 43 people standing out there. Where the hell all those people come from? Why is there only one guy fixing a flat? Are those other guys drinking beer? What the fuck is that? Wait a minute, that truck's not on fire. That guy's cooking carne asada.
I do like to talk about the race issue
Because a lot of y'all try to act like this shit ain't relevant no more. Like, is race still relevant in America? Look at some of the white people. Whatever do you mean? Racism will always be relevant in America for two reasons. One, it's just too much bad history, and you can't erase that much bad history. And two, I just think it's natural for everybody to be a little bit racist. I don't give a what color you are.
Damn, Chin. Some greasy shit. You ain't got no better food, like some chicken wings, some baby back ribs, some fries or something?
Chinese food, no soul food here.
I didn't say nothing about no soul food. I said you got some better food. I don't want that greasy shit. How you gonna sell a big box of grease?
I'm chilling you what?
Come on.
I'm no punk bitch.
I ain't no punk bitch neither.
I'm no punk bitch.
Everybody in this room, everybody in this country is a little racist. You might not be smack a taco out of Mexican hand racist, but we are all.
Oh, hello. I'm Ari Shafir. You know, America's had it pretty rough lately. And at tough times such as these, our country turns to its heroes to give us back our sense of swagger. Heroes such as myself. Welcome.
What
to
the
amazing racist.
Oh my God.
I don't know how much longer I'm going to get away with this. I'm just, every Wednesday, I'll be like, they're going to turn on me this week. I've gone too far. And that puppet pulled his dick out. I said, it's over, baby. It's fucking over, man. Even my kids looked at me like, nigga, what is wrong?
Hey, remember that girl from the office Christmas party? She's going to be going to it, and it's, you should, what? Dude. Okay, that's, okay, I get it. That's gross, though. That's not how you do that. That's not how you do that. You're doing it too slow. Stop. It's real fast, and then you stop, okay? That's disturbing. I can visually see it.
What's up, man?
Dude, that's, dude, that's not how you do that.
Are you serious?
Okay?
You just do it fast and stop. That's it.
Dude, you're grossing me out, okay? And stop making eye contact. That's creepy, too. Dude, that is not cool. You're crossing a line. You never do that. You don't do that.
An image that I don't want in my head right now.
That's not how you do. Dude, no. You never make them touch, man. That's not cool. That's not how you do. Dude, what are you don't finish? You never finish. Dude, that's disgusting.
You ruined my day.
I'm telling the boss. Boss!
You know, man, I want everybody to relax on that Osama bin Laden shit. I'm gonna handle the shit myself. Because I can't understand how they can't find a motherfucker 6'6" with a nappy beard and a towel on his head. But they can find my cousin 4'11" in Compton. You know what I mean? The motherfucker worth $500 million. Look for the cave with the satellite hookup. I don't live in a cave. I live in a house.
Brad, when are you going to shave that beard?
I don't want to shave my beard, honey. You used to love my beard. Up until a while ago, you used to say it was sexy. What?
Well, you know, it's not sexy to go to the movies with you and to be yelled at. And I don't find it attractive to have our tires slashed. And I'm sorry, Brad, but even when we do have sex, I feel like I'm betraying my country.
If a Rolls Royce is in front of the cave, nigga probably in there. If you walk in the cave and he got velvet paintings of Saddam Hussein, I think the nigga in there.
This is a message to all American infidels. Prepare to die in a sea of holy fire. You will be punished for your decadent ways on the first day of Ramadan. You... wait a minute, did I just say, what did I say, Ramadan? Ramadan. Radaman, what is that? What is yeah, maybe Dennis Radaman is going to punish you with his crazy hair. No?
5 Bloods, 5 Crips, 4 Mexicans, and 3 rednecks. This shit would have been over. Niggas and Mexicans, we done went over there and stole all the tracks off their tanks. Nigga, they tanks be on bricks. Niggas come back home. Nigga, who wants some tank tracks? And you know rednecks love hunting. Nigga, a redneck, you get that motherfucker a 30-06 with a scope on it, he can hit a fly off a deer's head 500 yards.
Yes, we can. You see that? You see that? Do you see that? You really want this little Civil War to pop off, Antifa? You see what we were just firing? You see that? All you guys want to ban guns, ain't even fired a gun in your entire life. You really want that type of war popping off? You really see what's in your face right there?
María Luisa, no te mueras, por favor. Ay.
Damn. Oh shit, who is that? Just to let you know, if you found enjoyment in that, please go to what is it? OGINOS. Organos. Go to his channel, subscribe to his shit if you like that. I thought it was amazing. Personally, I thought it was awesome. But I think what I want to talk about a little bit right now is the fact that we don't have any heroes really to look up to anymore. I mean, goddamn. Bill Cosby. Just saying his name. Ooh. I mean, we ain't got nobody to look up to anymore, man. All the icons got proven to be, shams or whatever. Hell, even Rick Ross, man, is a sham. I love Rick Ross, man. Everybody knows he's living another man's life, man. If you don't know who Rick Ross is living, Freeway Ricky, man, look him up. Look up Freeway Ricky. That is who Rick Ross is portraying to be. Man, just can't look up to nobody anymore. You know what I'm saying? And I feel bad, man. I got this Aurora right now. This Aurora bud. Ooh, so stinky, so smelly. Oh, I don't really want to show it on camera because you know how YouTube, how PlayStation feels about shit like that. Oh, just trust and believe. It's everything you want it to be. Sticky, smelly, dank. Oh, yeah. All right, so what the fuck was I talking about? Heroes, right? Ain't no goddamn heroes, man. All the good actors are dead. You know what I'm saying? Chris Farley's gone. Man, all the heroes are dead, bro. Bernie Mac's dead. George Carlin's dead. Man. I miss him too. You miss him, don't you? I do. But I want to talk about that guy right up there to the top left. Gorsuch. Currently, right now, he is my hero. Well, him and Trey Gowdy. These are people I can look up to, personally. I wanted to share some of my heroes with you that are still alive, that are still kicking ass, that are still taking names. You know what I'm saying? Some of my heroes. I'm going to bust this butt up, pack it, okay? And then I think I'm going to play another Immortal Technique song real quick and then hit the bathroom. And then play my outro cut, which is going to be showing you my hero, Gorsuch. Gorsuch. I can't even pronounce his name, yeah. My hero. So anyways. Immortal got me... Check it out.
Most of my Latino and black people who are struggling to get food, clothes, and shelter in the hood are so concerned with that philosophizing about freedom and socialist democracy is usually, unfortunately, beyond their rationale. They don't realize that America can't exist without separating them from their identity. Because if we had some sense of who we really are, there's no way in hell we'd allow this country to push its genocidal consensus on our homelands. This ignorance exists, but it can be destroyed. Niggas talk about change and working within the system to achieve that. The problem with always being a conformist is that when you try to change the system from within, It's not you who changes the system. It's the system that will eventually change you. There is usually nothing wrong with compromising a situation, but compromising yourself in a situation is another story completely. And I have seen this happen long enough in the few years that I've been alive to know that it's a serious problem. Latino America is a huge colony of countries whose presidents are cowards in the face of economic imperialism. You see, third world countries are rich places, abundant in resources, and many of these countries have the capacity to feed their starving people and the children we always see digging for food and trash on commercials. But plutocracies, in other words, a government run by the rich, such as this one, and traditionally oppressive European states, force the third world into buying overpriced, unnecessary goods while exporting huge portions of their natural resources. I'm quite sure that people will look upon my attitude and sentiments and look for hypocrisy and hatred in my words. My revolution is born out of love for my people, not hatred for others. You see, most of Latinos are here because of the great inflation that was caused by American companies in Latin America. Aside from that, many are seeking a life away from the puppet democracies that were funded by the United States. Places like El Salvador, Guatemala, Peru, Colombia, Nicaragua, Ecuador, and República Dominicana. And not just Spanish-speaking countries either, but Haiti and Jamaica as well. As different as we have been taught to look at each other by colonial society, we are in the same struggle. And until we realize that, we'll be fighting for scraps from the table of a system that has kept us subservient instead of being self-determined. And that's why we have no control over when the embargo will stop in Cuba or when the bombs will stop dropping in Vieques. But you see, here in America, the attitude that is fed to us is that outside of America, there live lesser people. Fuck them, let them fend for themselves. No, fuck you. They are you. No matter how much you want to dye your hair blonde and put fake eyes in, or follow an anorexic standard of beauty, or no matter how many diamonds you buy from people who exploit your own brutally to get them, no matter what kind of car you drive, or what kind of fancy clothes you put on, you will never be them. They're always gonna look at you as nothing but a little monkey. I'd rather be proud of what I am rather than desperately try to be something I'm really not, just to fit in. And whether we want to accept it or not, that's what this culture or lack of culture is feeding us.
Fuck being cool.
I want a better life.
Fuck fit,
for my family and for my children, but it doesn't have to be at the expense of millions of lives in my homeland. We're given the idea that if we didn't have these people to exploit, that America wouldn't be rich enough to let us have these little petty material things in our lives and basic standards of living. No, that's wrong. It's the business giants and the government officials who make all the real money. We have whatever they kick down to us. My enemy is not the average white man. It's not the kid down the block or the kids I see on the street. My enemy is the white man I don't see. The people in the White House, the corporate monopoly owners, fake liberal politicians. Those are my enemies. The generals of the armies that are mostly conservative. Those are the real motherfuckers that I need to bring it to. Not the poor, broke, country-ass soldier that's too stupid to know shit about the way things are set up. In fact, I have more in common with most working and middle-class white people than I do with most rich black and Latino people. As much as racism bleeds America, we need to understand that classism is the real issue. Many of us are in the same boat, and it's sinking while these bougie motherfuckers ride on the luxury liner. And as long as we keep fighting over kicking people out of the little boat we're all in, we're gonna miss an opportunity to gain a better standard of living as a whole. In other words, I don't want to escape the plantation. I want to come back, free all my people, hang the motherfucker that kept me there, and burn the house to the goddamn ground. I want to take over the encomienda and give it back to the people who work the land. You cannot change the past, but you can make the future. And anyone who tells you different is a fucking lethargic devil. I don't look at a few token Latinos and black people in the public eye as some type of achievement for my people as a whole. Most of those successful individuals are just sellouts and house negroes. But I don't consider brothers a sellout if they move out of the ghetto. Poverty has nothing to do with our people. It's not in our culture to be poor. That's only been the last 500 years of our history. Look at the last 2,000 years of our existence and what we brought to the world in terms of science, mathematics, agriculture informs a government. You know, the idea of a confederation of provinces where one federal government controls the states? The Europeans who came to this country stole that idea from the Iroquois League. The idea of impeaching a ruler comes from an Aztec tradition. That's why Montezuma was stoned to death by his own people, because he represented the agenda of white Spaniards once he was captured, not the Aztec people who would become Mexicans. So in conclusion, I'm not going to vote for anybody just because they black or Latino. They have to truly represent the community and represent what's good for all of us proletariat. Porque si no, entonces te mando pa'l carajo, cabrón, gusano, hijo de puta. Seramos libres pronto.
Viva la revolución! Man, you know, he's just got a way of putting it, doesn't he? He's got a way of crystallizing everything that I talk about. Just, love that man. I love that man. But I want to get back to talking about heroes and how we don't have anybody to look up to nowadays because everybody's a liar, everybody's this, everybody's that. You know, social media really has gone too far of exposing everything, hasn't it? Bill Cosby. Ooh, just saying that name. See what I'm trying to say? We got nobody to look up to, but I want to talk about this man right here, Gorsuch. And we'll talk about that because I think Gorsuch proves to be a good man. He's in the 10th Circuit of the Supreme Court, if I'm not mistaken about that. And I just love the way he comes back at some of these people like Dianne Feinstein and some of these other politicians that we know for a fact we have them red-handed in other articles that I'd be glad to show you. I really don't care. You know what I mean? We can get into that. But just serving them absolute intellect on such a level that is so ridiculous. It's trolling. I don't know how else to explain it. Gorsuch is trolling them. Watch this. I got something to show you. Gorsuch. Bam, bam. I got my little list, my little checklist right here. Check this out, bro. Mm-hmm. All right. I think you guys might like this one here. Gorsuch's greatest comebacks, and he just really trolls these guys with such precise intellect. He's really hard to stick anything to.
You would have to acknowledge that the man has handled himself so superbly, so logically, and he's been such a critical thinker and so level-headed. It's really hard to pin anything on him.
Thank you. You're cool too.
And I think proof positive of that. I'm going to start here. I want to show you the clips that the left are circulating. I found these either on HuffPo or BuzzFeed that they see as victories against Gorsuch. So I want to show you their best hand where the left is going, oh, Al Franken just nailed Gorsuch. So I'm not hiding from you and showing you the highlight reel. I'm showing you the low light reel as far as they're concerned. And then we'll get into a few more clips from Gorsuch. But let's start with Senator Smalley, Al Franken. This is the one making the rounds on the leftist websites.
You were very politically active. So in light of that, I'd like to ask my question
pause.
again.
Just pause real quick. Just so you know, before this, we can pause it, right? In real time. Yeah. Senator Franken was trying to hit him with all kinds of legalese, talking about the absurdity doctrine and talking about his history in politics, Neil Gorsuch's history in politics before he was a justice. So he was really trying to corner him. We just couldn't show the 14-minute diatribe that was delivered before that because I think this is the most relevant information, and we'll comment as we go live. Okay, continue.
Merrick Garland was treated fairly by the United States Senate.
Senator, a couple of things in response to that, if I might. Going back, the absurdity doctrine argument was never presented to the court. And it usually applies in cases where there's a Scrivener's error, not when we just disagree with the policy of the statute. So I appreciate the opportunity to respond there.
Watch.
When there's a Scrivener there.
Scrivener's error. Yeah.
So the two faces, the face from Gorsuch is like, I can't believe how dumb you are.
With respect to...
Well,
and Al Franken is, oh, crap.
Interpretation.
Oh, he's got a pamphlet. Got a big word, statutory.
The Notre Dame Law School National Institute for Trial Advocacy. This is a pretty well-known exception to the plain meaning rule, and I think you can apply it without it. I mean,
Pause.
Don't you think it's
that moment where you try to educate an Ivy League lawyer on what the law means?
Why does he have to drag Notre Dame into this?
Gosh, it's just he goes to his pamphlet. So here's something that's important. You'll see he tries to start off with legalese, tries to start off with legal arguments, and you'll see once that doesn't stick, he goes full Cenk, he goes full Young Turks, full MSNBC, and gets personal and pivots and pivots and pivots. And I say this because this is what the left is sending out as a highlight. I want you to watch for the pivoting techniques that you now see in the dance that is the Al Franken waltz.
Absurd that this man was given that choice and then fired for it? Don't you think that was absurd?
Senator, my heart goes out to him.
Okay, never mind.
My heart goes out to that.
Right. How do you think Merrick Garland was treated by the
Senator, since I became a judge 10 years ago, I have a canon of ethics that precludes me from getting involved in any way, shape, or form in politics. There's a reason why judges don't clap at the State of the Union.
Oh.
And why I can't even attend a political caucus.
This is an education here. Important information.
In the equivalent of a primary.
Okay, but I don't think that this is you have to state your political views.
He doesn't have any.
That's not what this is about. How a Supreme Court justice who is nominated by the President of the United States. This is like in the Constitution.
Is it in your pamphlet?
I think you're allowed to talk about what happened to the last
It's a politically
guy.
charged question, and he just got done accusing him of being politically motivated for things he said before he was a justice.
Involved in politics, you can express an opinion on this.
No, he can't.
Senator, I appreciate the invitation, but I know the other side has their views of this, and your side has your views of it. That, by definition, is politics.
Okay.
And senators, judges have to stay outside of politics. I think the world of Merrick Garland. I think he's an outstanding judge.
Okay, I understand.
I've told you what I think.
I understand. Thank you. Thank you. I don't mean to cut you off, but we have time.
Well, I think yours is running out.
Yeah.
Senator Franken.
Never get snooty with somebody who's smarter than you.
So let's go through that right away. He goes through legalese. He talks about the absurdity doctrine. He tries to talk about the plain interpretation. I don't remember the legal term that he's talking about there. So he tries to ask Gorsuch about this. In other words, trying to corner him legally. He answers legally, educates him on the Scrivener there.
A scribbler?
A scribbler. So Gorsuch says thank you, educates him, and then as the education is taking place, he goes right to, wait, but what do you think about how Republicans treated Merrick Garland? So we've gone from a factual argument to an opinionative argument. And then he tries to go back to a factual argument with his pamphlet. And then when Gorsuch tries to answer that again, he goes to, okay, I get it. And one last ditch, his last ditch effort is, can I get you to trash Merrick Garland? He's like, I think he's a fantastic judge.
Let's take a loss in the weeds.
And the left see this, HuffPo and BuzzFeed see this as a victory. I don't know. You can tweet me at SCrowder. You think that was a stellar performance for Al Franken? I'm trying to remove my biased glasses. Obviously, I'm conservative. I'm open about that. But I watched that and I was going, this is your A material?
Dang.
If that's the A material, their B material. This one is more popular on the feminist websites because it's none other than Dianne Feinstein. She tried to corner him on a question regarding the Second Amendment. Again, these are the... Oh, wait, no. Are we doing that one right now? Yeah, Dianne Feinstein. These are the highlights. This is what, if you were reading liberal sites, they are sending around. Feinstein.
Do you agree with that statement, that under the Second Amendment, weapons that are most useful in military service, M16 rifles and the like, may be banned?
Pause. And the like is somewhat pivotal when it comes to law. Someone would say that umbrella of and the like is probably the key point in this phrase. And the like. Well, let me answer your question. Hold on a second. What bullshit are you fitting in and the like? Can I ask that first? And the like. Well, what is and the like? Well, AK-47s, AR-15s, nuclear bombs. Well, see, hold on. That changes. So it's important. They always leave themselves a little backdoor out there. She was hoping to, but guess what? It didn't work. Roll clip.
Senator Heller makes clear the standard that we judges are supposed to apply. The question is whether it's a gun in common use for self-defense.
You following me?
And that may be subject to reasonable regulation. That's the test, as I understand it. There's lots of ongoing litigation about which weapons qualify under those standards. And I can't prejudge that litigation.
No, I'm just asking you, do you agree with his statement, yes or no?
Other statements out of the Heller decision from the United States?
Justice Scalia's statement.
Well, whatever's in Heller is the law, and I follow the law. Well, it's not a matter of agreeing or disagreeing, Senator, respectfully. It's a matter of it being the law. And my job is to apply and enforce the law.
Here's the reason the left sees this as a victory. It's because they are inherently anti-constitutionalist.
Yes.
They are inherently anti-originalist. Almost every answer you can expect from Gorsuch here has been, this is the law, this is the appropriate role of a justice. This isn't. This is what the Constitution says. This is what we're supposed to do as justices. Well, what do you think about high-capacity They don't like that he is actually a constitutionalist, because that answer is so any lawyer would have to watch and say, well, that's probably the proper answer. Any constitutional historian would have to look at that and say, well, you know what, that's actually the proper answer. The left looks at it and goes, he didn't say he would ban guns. He didn't say he would ban and the like.
Notice they didn't ask for his opinion on Roe v. Wade and other such cases.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, justices are not supposed to make law. They're supposed to interpret law. Remember when Roberts rewrote Obamacare, essentially making it pass instead of sending it back like it should, and we got all up in arms? They're doing the exact same thing. They want him to make law basically from the bench instead of just interpret it. He's like, no, I'll just interpret it. Oh, that's not good enough.
Yeah. And something that's very important, by the way, when you need to understand this. We've talked about this in our Second Amendment video, the Heller versus D.C. case. I think, was it 2008, 2006? Either 06, 08, or 09. The votes against Heller versus D.C.
Yes.
So basically what it says is that you have, as a private citizen, the right to carry a firearm. What's important is the only legal argument against that. We've talked about this several times. It wasn't about certain weapons or a magazine ban. The only legal arguments, not on message boards, but that can be made in the Supreme Court were that actually, no, I have to vote against this because I don't believe that private citizens have the right to bear firearms at all.
It's the only other interpretation.
The only other interpretation is that a well-regulated militia means state guard, national. It does not mean a private citizen has a right to own a gun at all. So when they say you're crazy because you're thinking people are coming for your guns, 4 justices want to come for your guns. So read up on that case. It's a very important case, and it gives you great.
It does pay to read up on that case. The reason why I say that is because the Second Amendment, a lot of people, they get it confused with just guns, that it's just guns. No, you see, the Second Amendment allows you to protect your private property, whatever that may be. Protect your personal property, yourself, protect your yard, your home. That gives you the individual right to protect yourself. However you go about doing that is entirely up to you. If you want to protect yourself with a toothpick and jab somebody in the eyeball, that's up to you. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to own a firearm, that's up to you. I personally have ninja stars and nunchucks and a katana sword that I can literally cut a piece of paper with just by setting it on there. So, if I hear you, I'm going to throw the nunchucks right at your face with some ninja stars and pull the sword out. You know what I mean? That's what's going to happen here. Okay? If you got a gun, then you might be at an advantage, but that's the price we pay here in America. But if everybody has a gun, and you can statistically look this up, challenge me on it. Go ahead. You can statistically look it up that every single one of these attacks always happens in a gun-free zone. That's because the criminal looks at it like, nobody can stop me there, so I might as well do my criminal activity in a gun-free zone. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Because if you look at any other gun-toting neighborhood, for example, like say, Maine, or I don't know. I don't want to throw too many examples out there, but in non-gun free zones, usually, unless if you want to throw Chicago in my face, but even Chicago is a gun free zone. I'm pretty sure they have some of the strictest gun laws in America, and they have the most gun violence in America. That's why it's nicknamed Chirac. Everybody knows that. So, again, you can challenge me by throwing Chicago in my face. I understand that. But at the same time, if you look at the demographics, most of the statistics will show that gun-abiding areas have dramatically less crime. It's a well-known fact. All right, let's get back into this.
As to what the left actually can argue legally.
Heller versus D.C., very important.
Very important. We've talked about that. And then finally, this is not one that the left was circulating as a victory, but just because he had to eat a big old pile of crap, here's Dick Durbin trying to set him up with a question that he heard somebody say he asked in a class. Spoiler alert, it doesn't go well for him.
So I just want to ask you to confirm. Did you ask your students in class that day to raise their hands if they knew of a woman who had taken maternity benefits from a company and then left the company after having a baby?
Suppose an older partner woman at the firm.
I just want you to confirm. Do some students not like you?
If you intend to become pregnant soon. What are your choices as a young person? You can say yes, tell the truth, and not get the job. You can lie, maybe get the job. You can say no. Or you can push back in some way, shape, or form. And we talk about the pros and the cons in a Socratic dialogue. And Senator, I do ask for a show of hands, not about the question you asked, but about the following question. And I ask it of everybody. How many of you have had questions like this asked of you in the employment environment? An inappropriate question about your family planning. And I am shocked every year, Senator, how many young women raise their hand. It's disturbing to me.
And after that, Durbin goes, "Oh yeah, it's just someone said he never asked."
Oh, he just got annihilated.
Of course. Lunch break. I brought tuna. So you're saying? Oh wait, no, you're saying exactly what I. It's just amazing the setups, and I will tell you this: I know that I couldn't navigate the minefield that they're laying for him. I know none of us could because someone would have their neck just wrung. This Dick Durbin. So how he handled himself, I will say this: I didn't know a ton about Gorsuch outside of his opinions on life, Second Amendment, that he was a constitutionalist, all of which I liked. But, it's hard to get a feel for someone's temperament just reading his history. Mm-hmm. Watching these, and I highly recommend you watch as much footage as you can, I think the guy has the perfect temperament to be an even-handed judge.
Hey, if you like this video, subscribe by clicking the button. It's a circular button now that says subscribe.
Just want to let you know that was Steven Crowder. Steven Crowder is the man. If you enjoyed that at all, go over to his channel and subscribe. I urge you, please. Now, I just want to talk about, how all of this is kind of rounded up, man. I just want to kind of recap a little bit. Gorsuch, that was Gorsuch. That was one of my heroes. You can tell that he's kind of a straight shooter. I really like him quite a bit, and he's not the only one I like. You got Trey Gowdy also serving them red pills and things like that. But let's look up a Jewish guy that I think is actually pretty cool, who actually also triggers these people in some pretty awesome ways. Check this out. Let me see. There should be something. Hold on a second. It's always hard to find these damn videos. All right, here we go.
You have to speak the language of morality. You must speak the language of morality. The left wins because nobody on the left knows anything about politics. They know you're evil. That's it. They know you're a racist, sexist, bigot, homophobe who hates the poor. Right? That's what they know about you. And it's not they think that about you. They know that about you. Deep down, they know all these evil things about you, which is why Thanksgiving dinners are always so awkward if you're unfortunate to have Jewish relatives or you have friends on the left, which are the exact same focus group. The answer to all of this is to speak in the language of morality. This is why I never say the government compels people to do stuff. The government does not compel people to do stuff. The government compels people to do stuff at point of gun. Why do I say that? Because leftists are scared of guns. Right? When we say the government compels things, people say, oh, well, compulsion. Well, that's just like taxes, right? No. That's somebody coming to your house in the middle of the night with a SWAT team, with a gun, pointing it at you and dragging you off to prison for not doing what they want. Right? That is what we are facing. Right? When it comes to the left, it's not when we're such idiots, honestly. We were constantly arguing about whether our tax program is more efficient than their tax program. It's not about efficiency. Barack Obama gave the right answer to the wrong question, right? When he was asked in 2008, would you raise the capital gains tax, even if it means less revenue to the government? Would you raise it? He said yes for purposes of fairness. Right? Even if it meant people were more impoverished, even if it meant people were more poor, The answer was yes, for purposes of fairness. Why? Because people don't speak the language of poverty. People don't speak the language of efficiency. People don't speak Mitt Romney's 57-point tax plan. You can't even name 2 points on his 57-point tax plan. People speak the language of fairness and justice and morality. They want to think that they're right and the other guy is wrong. They want to have a feeling of, in many cases, unearned moral superiority based on their opposition to things. This is why everybody was getting off ripping on Donald Sterling for being a crazy old racist coot. Did they accomplish anything? No. But they felt real good because they got to go around telling all their friends that Donald Sterling was a racist old coot. Right? This is what they do. So, speak their language. In other words, next time they say something like, I believe in the minimum wage, then you should say, why exactly is it that you want to put a gun to the head of a business owner and force them to pay something? Why is that okay? Why isn't that violative of basic principles of consent? Like you over here, you like gay marriage because you say that 2 men should be able to wed each other, but those 2 men shouldn't be able to do business with each other in a mutually agreed relationship? So if instead of them having sex, they were actually just, one was signing a check to the other to paint his car, then you're saying that's not okay? And that you're going to take a gun and put it to the head of one of them in order to make that happen? It's because you're a totalitarian. Right? This is the truth. The left is totalitarian. You don't have to feel bad about saying these things. And when you talk about the inefficiencies of the left's social policies in the inner city, who gives a crap? This is really, I mean, honestly, that no one in the inner city is thinking about, wow, this really is not very efficient. What they're thinking is there are a bunch of Tea Party Ku Klux Klanners out there who are going to invade their inner city and burn down their houses. Why do they think that? Because they're Democrats and apparently some Republicans, Dad Cochran, who actually have been doing this sort of stuff, have been saying this sort of stuff. The answer to that is that the real racists are and always have been folks on the left who wish to exploit racial division in order to pay off their cronies. The reason the education system sucks in the inner city is because the left wants to pay off its union buddies at the expense of black kids. The reason that the left has not done anything for the inner cities despite years of dominance in Detroit, the reason is because they wanted the violence. And it is about intent. It's not about effect. There's a really telling point in the 2012 election cycle when Bill Clinton was talking about Obama, and he said, the difference between Obama and Mitt Romney is that Romney is somebody who says that Barack Obama's done a really poor job. Barack knows he hasn't done a great job, but he feels really bad about it. This was an actual line, right? And people bought that because, and the polls show this. Right? 80% of people thought that Mitt Romney cared less about them than Barack Obama in exit polls. 80%. That's a majority of Republicans. Right? But when it came to policies, they agreed with Mitt Romney. But people don't vote with their heads. People vote with their hearts. So, go after what people feel. Go after the language of morality. Socialism is not a good idea that went wrong. And whenever you hear Republicans or conservatives say this, it's because they have the IQ of a kumquat. Socialism was a horribly evil idea that went completely right. It went exactly as they thought it was going to go. Exactly. This was the design from the start. Socialism is a fundamentally immoral, evil, unfair, discriminatory, and disgusting system that violates off the bat 3 of the 10 commandments. Right? You don't steal. God, not government, and you shouldn't be jealous of your neighbor's ass. Right? That's in the actual language, correct?
Yes.
Not the Bill Clinton language. So these are the terms that we should be speaking. These are the terms that hit young people. Because young people nobody has the time to read all of the entire editorial page of the Wall Street Journal. Nobody does. Everybody's attention span is 5 seconds long. So if you can't make people feel good about being conservative, make them feel really, really bad about being leftist. You know why? They deserve to feel bad about being leftist. They're siding with an evil ideology.
I mean, need I say more? Need I say more? I mean, you got to kill him with the facts. You got to kill him with the comedy, right? What happened to Black Lives Matter? He's just said it right there. The Democrats use the black kids only when it's election time. That's why you're not hearing about Black Lives Matter no more. And if you turn on the news, the mainstream news, most of Black Lives Matter are white people now. Because they can't find because real black people figured it out already. That it's just a hateful ass group that was paid off. And as soon as that movement didn't take shape, didn't take form, then they changed it to Antifa. And Antifa is another hate group that was basically put together by the same people, by the same funders that put Black Lives Matter together. And I wonder if Black Lives Matter even knows that a white guy put their shit together. What do you think? Let's hear from somebody on their side. Let's hear from somebody who knows a little bit about their side. Check this out. You gotta listen to all arguments, bros. All arguments. Check this out.
Be as apolitical as I can, but when I come here, like...
clip, and then we'll do some commentary afterwards.
Okay, so... this shit is corny. Like, this isn't gonna work. If you want to come here with good intentions, and you have a side that you're fighting on, satire is a really, really powerful tool. And right now, the right is fucking killing you guys. They're way, way funnier than you. Like, by miles. And it's a really, really good recruitment tool. Like, it makes people want to join them. Like, I'm gonna be as apolitical as I can, but when I come here, like, I want to join, like, the Red Hat kids, like, bad, because this shit is whack. It's not cool. Like, this isn't funny. You gotta do something better. Like, when the shit gets real and it starts to hit the fan, like, you won't be able to hug a bullet and, like, tell them, oh, it's all about love. Like, these people are coming here talking about how, you know, it's all about love and, like, we're all one, but people here don't like each other. Like, there's people that come here and there's immediate, like, tension between people. So it's not really about that. It's a more of a virtue signaling, like, look at how good I am, let's take a selfie in front of the camera type deal. Like, it's not about love at the end of it. Like, there's obviously a culture war here, and if you want to win it, you can't be corny, because it's fucking whack. You look like herbs. Like, this sucks. It fucking sucks. You gotta be better. You're fighting, like, this underground internet subculture that has been doing this for a really long time, and now they're starting to choose a side, and people on the other side who know what they're fighting against need to come out and fight against them in the way that the other side is fighting, because this isn't gonna happen. Like, going out on the street with a sign with a pussy on it isn't gonna happen. Like, this isn't... It's so boring. Like, it's so boring and not funny, and it's embarrassing. Like, it makes you look like idiots. So maybe, like,
exactly,
do something better.
And it makes you look like idiots. Oh, do I need to say any more? I mean, do I really need to? Makes you look like idiots. Not you, not the viewer. I'm saying Antifa, the people that are going around with this type of culture. You see, there is a culture war going on, and satire is a powerful weapon. That's why we're going to crush this with comedy, because comedy is powerful, you know? Let me show you a little bit about the internet subculture that she's talking about. The internet subculture that's chosen a side. You see, when people want to push it too far and play their identity politics, the problem is that people start to push back. Even like I showed you earlier in the video, how two people weren't that crazy about Trump, dressed up as Trump supporters, and then got red-pilled like a motherfucker. Y'all saw that. I showed that. All right, so now we just heard from the Antifa girl that it's corny. Wearing pussies on your head, marching in the women's rally, it's just not really getting the point across. People aren't feeling it. They're just not feeling it. So let me go ahead and show you a little bit of this internet subculture that she's talking about. All right? Let me just recap that right there. Hold on. All right, check this out. This is, like I said, the internet subculture. Here we go. That I was telling you about. Check it out.
This fucking guy cannot catch a break. Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Izzy, and this is the Izzy Nobre Show. Time for a little recap. As you remember, actor slash I guess, crazy protester, Shia LaBeouf, was so distraught at Trump winning the election that he decided to start this whole art installation / protest against the president called He Will Not Divide Us. He started in New York, and he put up a camera with a stream, and he was just chanting from the camera saying, "He will not divide us," and stuff like that. Before long, 4chan was trolling the whole thing, and the Museum of the Moving Image, I think I got it right this time, shut the whole thing down. He moved it to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and again, it didn't go so well. Last time we talked, he had set this up in what I assume is private property in some unknown location in the United States. In about 36 hours, the internet found this thing and stole it. So I'm thinking, okay, now he will finally understand that this will cost his sanity. So he'll just lay low and stop with this protest, with this art installation, whatever. He'll just move on with his life. Nope. Apparently, Shia LaBeouf partnered up with the Foundation for Art and Future. I fucked it up. Foundation for Art and Creative Technology. Apparently, Shia partnered up with the Foundation for Art, and I fucking forgot already. Apparently, Shia partnered up with the Foundation for Art and Creative Technology in England, and they had a write-up on their website explaining, you know, he's been trying to do this thing in the United States. It's not working so well. A lot of trolls, so he decided to put this up in England. It's kind of weird that he's gonna protest his president in another country. And I do understand that 4chan pushed him to this. It still sounds ironic to me. I'm just saying. So right off the bat, because Shia is giving people some information of where the flag might be, some people were thinking this was a trap, so they decided to be a little more careful this time. See, here's the problem. Shia thought that putting an ocean between his little art project and the people who are tormenting him would be enough. Yet again, he underestimated the power of the internet. And I already told you you're not supposed to do that. So you got people running around gathering intel with pictures and everything. They found the flag, and then with the pictures that people were taking, they were able to triangulate the exact spot of where the flag was. I gotta throw this in there. It was a Brazilian user that chimed in with the definitive address of where the flag was located. So let it never be said that Brazil never did anything nice for the internet. I know we ruined it in a lot of other respects, but we did help you here. So people started playing this heist. Now, the other one, it was a matter of finding where the flag was. This one, everybody knew where the flag was. A lot of people were taking pictures of the flag from street level, but the trick was, how do we get into the building? So people started drawing all these plans using MS Paint, which is, I'm going to say, if you're going to make a plan of any kind, make it on MS Paint. When people realized it might be too difficult / dangerous to get into the building themselves, they started planning this whole aerial warfare against the He Will Not Divide Us flag. There's all these schematics, again on MS Paint, on how to take the flag down using drones, including a plan that calls for, and I quote, tactical PP cotton balls. What did you expect? But alas, we didn't see the drones, because less than 1 day from this thing going live, people were delighted to see this on the stream.
Alright, did y'all see that? Let me see if I can rewind it just a little bit. Because I want to talk about that just for
From this thing going live, people were delighted to see this on the stream.
Alright, so, hold on a second. Yeah, you see that picture? I don't know, it's kind of fuzzy. You can't make it out all that well. But that looks just like the guy that was in Watch Dogs. You see what I'm saying? This is the internet subculture that Antifa girl was talking about. The internet subculture has chosen a side. You see what I'm trying to say? They've chosen a side. And all I can really say is that they deserve it. They deserve it. Because these kids, right, like Anonymous, probably, 4chan, these hacker groups, probably weren't that crazy about Trump in the first place. But it's not a fucking about Trump. It has nothing to fucking do with Trump anymore. You understand what I'm trying to say? It's all about the culture, the humor, the satire. It's all about fucking with these people. Because as right-winging, whatever you fucking want to call us, we've developed a humor, a comedy now that we can now shut down your project if it pleases pleases us. We can troll the shit out of your, you know, art project. You put up the Fearless Girl statue, we're going to troll the fuck out of that. Anything you do is about to get trolled because the internet subculture has chosen a side. You fucked up. You deserve it because of your misrepresenting of the news, the fake news that has been coming out, your misrepresentation of journalism, your irresponsibility of your job of journalism, and now this is where we are. The people that weren't so crazy about this political race or whatever, because of the way you've now thrusted them into this situation, and now here we are with videos like this.
So the organization of the, what is it called again? So the Foundation for Art and Creative Technology, seeing that they're now a huge target for internet shenanigans, decided to just pull the plug on the whole thing. Again, one day this time. These people managed to beat their own record, which was already pretty impressive. So I gotta say, Shia, you have to realize that this will cost you your sanity. There's no way you come out of this on top. There's no way you win this thing because these people will not stop ever. It might end up happening that somebody actually kills themselves trying to take this flag, and Shia ends up legally liable to this. And look, I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna go like, well, but if they're in a private property and they do something stupid and they get hurt, well, it's on them. The law doesn't always see it like that. Sometimes they decide that even if somebody's in your property without your authorization, there's still a duty of care towards that person. So yeah, they're not going to stop. That's thousands of people working towards getting this flag, whereas there's only one person responsible for putting it up. If this one person decides to just call it quits, see, the thing is, the internet is having so much fun with this thing that if Shia LaBeouf actually decides to stop the protest, I think fortune is going to goad him into.
The internet is not only just having fun with this thing, the internet is going to have fun with anything that they try to put out at this point. You see what I'm trying to say? A side has been chosen. It's time for you to choose a side. It really is. It's not about Trump anymore. It's about fucking with them. It's about fucking with the establishment. It's about, you know, I think you understand where I'm going with this. I think you get it. Even the people like the two young kids that weren't crazy about Trump have now been thrusted and red-pilled. You see what I'm trying to say? And they understand it's not about the man, it's about the movement. You see what I'm trying to say? It's not about the man, it's about the movement.
Starting over, calling a truce, and just to have something to do again, just for the next season of He Will Not Divide Us. I wouldn't put this past them. Again, these are the people who are planning to load drones with human urine to spite somebody. Drones that they paid for themselves. So do you really want to fuck with these people, Shia LaBeouf? Do you really want these people on your back? I fucking wouldn't. Man, I guess this is season 4. Right? So who knows what the fuck he's going to do next? I'm honestly thinking that this is it. I think he's just going to realize that this is just didn't work out. Guess we'll find out. Anyway, that's all the time I have for today. I'm Izzy, and I'm done.
So, my friends, that's Izzy Nobre. And if you've never heard of him and you liked what you just saw, I urge you to go over there and subscribe to him. He's awesome. All right, so we just talked about the He Will Not Divide Us live stream, which has pretty much been taken down. Now, it's kind of old news at this point, but I think it's relevant to the point that there is a culture war going on that my boy Milo Yiannopoulos was talking about today. Satire is important, very powerful. Comedy is important, very powerful. Facts are important. Learn how to debate. Learn how to talk. Learn the language, like Ben Shapiro was talking about. You got to learn the language and how to really dismantle people. You see what I'm trying to say? And I don't want to dismantle you. I don't want to debate you. All I'm trying to say is I'm sharing opinions. I'm sharing ideas. I'm just asking questions. I don't really understand where I fit into the demographic. I don't understand where I fit into the politics because, you know what? maybe I don't like everything about Trump. Maybe you don't like everything about Trump. Maybe you don't like everything about Sean Spicer. Maybe you don't like everything about Gorsuch. This is why, as a human race, as the people, as taxpayers, people that work, we need to ask questions. Anybody that makes minimum wage money, we in the same boat. Anybody that makes less than $50,000, we in the same boat. You see what I'm trying to tell you? We need to ask questions. We need to try to come together. The internet subculture that you just saw has chosen a side. I think it's time for us to choose a side as well. All right. Let me show you a little bit of some of these memes that these kids put together because they're goddamn hilarious. All right. Check them out. All right. Memes are powerful. If you want to get your point across, learn how to make memes. They're very powerful. If you can take clips of exactly what you're talking about and put them all together in a nice 3-4 minute meme or something to really pack them hard, memes are a powerful tool. All right. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here. Here's a new one that I thought was pretty funny. Just came out not too long ago. Alex Jones, I talk about him every once in a while. He has a TV show called InfoWars. If you like that stuff, go over and subscribe to him. But he sells supplements, products on his show, and he started selling this one product called Caveman. Oh my freaking God. I don't want to make fun of the guy too much because, you know, he's a hero in the info war and all that bullshit, but damn, this is funny. Check it out.
And we're not getting what humans always thought was key, the bone broth. 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 Well, now it's the next level of that. It's Caveman. Hey, I need a glass of Caveman. Caveman. Man, it's better than Ovaltine. Better than Ovaltine. It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Caveman is just over the top. What in the world? But now with the milk, I was like, whoa, this has milk in it. Whoa. It tastes like good. Man, this tastes so good. Tastes like the best milkshake ever. It tastes like Ovaltine. It tastes like Ovaltine. It tastes like Ovaltine. Like good. It tastes like Ovaltine. It tastes like Ovaltine. It tastes like Ovaltine. Like good. Whoa.
This is I can say without a doubt, at least in my experience, that this is literally.
This is a super home run available at InfoWarsLife.com, and it supports the broadcast. All right, all the big news straight ahead. Thanks, Buckley.
I love it. Oh, I love it. Do you really want an internet subclass making memes like that about you? I wouldn't. But guys, I think that really much rounds up my point about the internet subculture. It's choosing a side, creating memes. Memes are powerful. Comedy is powerful. When you're trying to get your point across, you need to spread that love, spread them facts, spread that positivity. You see what I'm trying to tell you? Now, with that, my friends, I think I'm going to close this thing out, if you don't mind. Yeah. Let's go ahead and recap, man. We talked about the London terrorist attack from last week. Sad and tragic, man. We talked about the explosion in St. Petersburg, Russia. Sorry to hear that about you, bros. 11 dead, man. Sorry to hear that. ISIS celebrates Russian train bombing. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. You know what I mean? We had Dave Chappelle shelling out red pills. We were talking about how Facebook and YouTube are creating algorithms against us. We were talking about how the media was pressuring Bush into slander Trump. And he was like, y'all used to matter a lot more. I can't do a good Bush impression. We talked a little bit about Milo. Talked a little bit about Spicer. Stop shaking your head. We talked a little bit about Gorsuch. They call him Gorsuch, but I don't think he's a snitch. I don't. But I don't know, man. Can we believe in anybody, right? Isn't that the point? We looked at how Trump supporters are abused just for walking down the street, and it's not so unlike how Martin Luther King used to walk down the street. Just to prove his point, all he had to do was walk down the street and people would spit at him and treat him in such a way. How is that any different than how Trump supporters are being treated nowadays? Alright, so we also talked about how people in the subway culture, or in the New York culture on the subway, are sick and tired of it, man. They're tired of the identity politics. And you've seen a legal Latino tell that dude to straight up shut the fuck up. Alright? Alright, that's how people feel right now. They're tired of it. They're done. And we talked a little bit about anti-comedy, right? Anti-politically correct comedy, because it's good to laugh. It's good to laugh at our skin color. It's good to laugh at each other. It's good to laugh at our weaknesses, because if you laugh enough at the weakness, it becomes a strength. Once it becomes a strength, then we can combine them together, and we can make that boat I was talking about and start floating on the top of all this social justice bullshit, right? All right, my friends. I hope you liked it. If you did, please subscribe. Hit that little bell, and that'll allow you to be notified whenever I'd go on and do one of these little rants right here. Yeah, you know, they're trying to silence anybody that wants to do stuff like this. And what am I even doing? I'm just sharing opinions, sharing a couple of videos in a sequence to maybe get my point across a little better. You know? That's all I'm doing. But regardless, hey man, you know, stay awesome, stay classy, stay legit. You know what I'm saying? Stay American. Straight up. First and foremost. Alright? Keep it 100. See you later.